SWX 9, Billings Clinic and Logan Health. SWX Frontier Conference College Football starts right now.
From Bob Green Field at Alumni Stadium, this is the NAIA playoffs on SWX. This afternoon, it's round 2 of the playoffs. It's an all-Montana matchup as the Fighting Saints of Carroll College take on the Your Diggers of Montana Tech. Hi again, everyone. I'm Chris Byers along with Bobby Beers. And Bobby's winter has officially arrived in the Treasure State. We had some snow in Butte. Kickoff at temperature about 25, 26 degrees. But you know what? With so many Montana kids on the roster, I don't think it's going to be a big deal.
Temperature isn't a big deal this time of year. We know that after Thanksgiving, anything's game with the weather. And today, Mother Nature blessed us with a nice fine coating of snow. And so those of us that are blessed with the ability to ski, we love it. Those of us that play football, we'll figure it out.
All right. Carroll College, I tell you what, they're just a program that gets better week in and week out. They opened the playoffs last week at Nelson Stadium with a 42-35 win over the Bobcats of St. Thomas in Florida. And in that game, Bobby, you saw it. Quarterback Caden Hewitt continues to grow, and he made some big plays in that game with his legs.
All season, Chris, we've watched Caden Hewitt really kind of grow into this offense. Last week, he really took over and owned that thing, running that run-pass option play to just absolute perfection, distributing the ball well and coming away with a victory over a very game team from Florida.
Well, and for Montana Tech, they can beat you so many ways, but they've got a kid that plays wide receiver, and he's unbelievable on special teams. Of course, we're talking about Levi Torgerson.
Yeah, he does so many things for this offense, whether it's running the ball on a jet sweep. He's thrown a couple of touchdowns this year. He's done his most damage in the receiving game, but with him in this passing game, he's always a threat. You've got to account for him everywhere he lines up, whether it is in special teams or on the offensive side of the ball. The guy is a Swiss Army knife for this Tech offense, and I'll tell you what, he proved it. He's the Offensive Player of the Year in the Frontier Conference for them.
Well, it is win or go home in the NAIA playoffs for both of these teams. Stick around, settle in. This should be a great football matchup, and it's straight ahead on SWX. You sure can. Testing 1, 2, and welcome.
Welcome to Butte, Montana, Butte, America. You guys are all filled up on pork chop johns, hepped up on caffeine and carbs. Let's go.
Yep.
It's warmer up here. I'm going to tell myself that all day.
Welcome back to Alumni Stadium here in Butte, just seconds away from the start of round 2 of the NAIA playoffs. Carroll College against the 3rd seed Montana Tech. Keys to the game today brought to you by Butte Auto. Easy to find off I-90 at the Harrison Avenue exit in Butte. Find your next ride at Butte Auto. Bobby, keys to the game today.
Well, if you're Carroll College, you got to find a way to extend drives, keep that offense on the field. Your defensive front seven have to play well against the power running game of Montana Tech. and they've got to find a way because nobody else has this year to contain Levi Torgerson, the dynamic athlete over there. Montana Tech, hey, are you rested or are you rusty? They got the week off, hosting the game today. They're fired up. The home crowd's fired up. They got to find a way to run the ball like they have all year. Just that power running game plays so well into everything else, making that offense run. And then the other fact to make sure that they keep Carroll College off the field, find a way to contain the ever-dangerous Caden Hewitt and get that Carroll College offense on the sideline. Going to be a good one today, Chris.
Yeah, interesting decision. Carroll College won the toss and opted to receive. Typically you defer to get the ball in the second half, but I think it's an indication they want to jump out quickly here as the visiting team. Byronowski gets a foot into it. Connor Sullivan lets it go into the back of the end zone. And this will come out. Carroll College will get the football first to start the game.
Ryder Baranowski, every kick we've seen this year, save maybe a couple into the wind up here on the hill, have gone into the end zone. That's a nice reassuring way that nothing changes for Montana Tech. Bring that ball out to the 25-yard line, and that's where Carroll's going to start this one.
Carroll opened the playoffs last week in Helena with a 42-35 win over St. Thomas. Caden Hewitt, 4 touchdowns as the starting quarterback. Peter Minard rushing for over 100 yards. So Xavier Ford flanking Hewitt. He gets the call on first down up over the right side. Nice gain to the 27-yard line.
Just a couple yards right there, but then Tell Arthur, the all-everything linebacker for Montana Tech, Defensive Player of the Year in the Frontier Conference, brings him down, but only gain up a couple there on first down as Carroll College trying to establish a line of scrimmage early here.
Montana Tech's defense gives up just 14 points a game and under 300 yards of total offense, while they're scoring 40 points a game. There's the starting defense, led, as you said, by Tell Arthur and Peyton Gonzer. Gain of 2, 2nd and 8 from the 27. Here's Hewitt, fires out into the flat, and this is, they going to give him the catch? Yes, they are. So Connor Sullivan hauls it in over the 30-yard line to the 32, and that'll bring up 3rd and 3.
Yeah, Connor Sullivan's going to have to play big today. Chris Akulchin, their explosive wide receiver on the edge, was a game-time decision. Doesn't look like he's out there right now for the Saints, as Connor Sullivan, we see him a lot on special teams. Second-team Frontier Conference performer for the Saints. Comes up big, brings up a big 3rd down here early for the Saints.
Opening drive of the game here in Butte. 3rd down for the Saints. And this crowd is raucous as you would expect in Butte, America. Here's Hewitt, straight drop, now steps up into the pocket, got room, up over the 35 to the 40, slides to the 45, and a first down for Carroll College.
He got a great block, an absolutely great block from Xavier Ford. Guy stays active in pass protection. Hewitt takes off, and right up to him, you're going to see it right here. He sees Hewitt kind of looking there. He picks off a guy right there on the right side of the screen. Hewitt slides ahead, new set of down, Saints.
Here's Hewitt, now looks to pass, fires out here, and that is caught at the 50-yard line by Lincoln Holmes. And Holmes is hammered out of bounds, but that is good enough for another first down inside Carroll territory to the 45.
Lincoln Holmes has caught so many big balls for this Carroll offense. 3rd leading receiver, but he does a great job just coming up with the right play at the right time as we watch this crowd continue to funnel in. They got a lot of people on the sideline today, Chris.
Yes, they do. So they don't give him a first down. 2nd and 1. They'll stay on the ground to Xavier Ford, and Ford is going to be wrapped up and taken down, and he'll be short of the first down. Great job by Anthony Oakes. The sophomore defensive lineman comes in and stops him short of the first down.
Yeah, first team All-East Frontier Conference defensive end, Anthony Oakes, really holds up, contained on the edge of that defense right there as Xavier Ford tried to bounce that outside. Oakes was having none of it. Pulls him down, loss of a 1. We got 3rd and 2 here.
Big play here for both teams, opening drive. They need 2 for the first down from the 49. They shift Minard out of the backfield. Hewitt goes over the right side, falls forward, has the first down. The gain is down to the 45, and Hewitt using that big frame running up in there behind the right tackle and gets enough for the first down to Hewitt comes into this game with over 300 yards rushing the football. He had a great game last week against the Bobcats.
He's done a nice job. I mean, as we watched him just kind of learn this offense and get comfortable, that +1 running game with him with the ball in his hands really benefited Carroll early, paying off early here for the Saints as they get another first down behind the legs of Hewitt.
From the 45, they bring Sullivan across. Hewitt, quarterback keeper all the way. Straight up run down to the 38-yard line. So another big gain on first down will bring up 2nd and 3.
This Carroll offensive line is doing a great job just straight ahead running the field. A little slick, snow covered on the south end of it still. But this north side, free of snow, it's a little slippery going. But Hewitt finding his way, able to move the chains a couple of times, gets good yardage on first down there.
Hewitt, 25 carries for 102 yards last week against St. Thomas. And as you mentioned, Bobby, he has really come into his own as the season has progressed. So a gain of 7, 2nd and 3 from the 38. Hewitt fires out here, and it is complete to Gavin Vandenaker. And Vandenaker has a first down to the 30-yard line.
That's a great story. We've told it a couple of times, but Gavin Vandenaker just catching that one there. It wasn't the prettiest ball from Hewitt, but there's no style points in the playoffs as they get another first down driving into Tech territory.
Vandenaker, the redshirt junior out of Townsend, with a big first down catch from the 30. They send Minert out of the backfield. Hewitt has time and then knocked down right at the line of scrimmage. So a nice job by Caleb Novick, the junior defensive lineman from Gig Harbor, Washington. And Bobby just gets the paw up there and knocks it down.
Yeah, he wasn't getting any pressure, decides to stand in the passing lane, able to get that big right paw up, knock it down. So this Carroll offense kind of stalls on second down. Big third down here as they got a good looking first drive here in the ever-present purple helmets today.
Well, they have flashed those a couple of times this season. So 2nd and 10 on the incomplete pass from the 30. Minert out of the backfield. Hewitt, quarterback keeper again. This time he's going to be wrapped up and taken down by Umile, and Umile, no gain on the play, and it's how they give him 3rd and 9.
Yeah, Umile does a great job. Hewitt bounces off the first tackle right into the waiting arms of Dom Umile right there. The interior of this Tech defensive line standing up right there. Be a big third down here. 3rd and long for this Carroll offense.
Umile, sophomore out of Missoula Sentinel High School. So again, another big third down here. They need 9 for the first down. Ball to 29. Opening drive, winding down to the 10-minute mark of the first quarter. They bring Lincoln Holmes across. Hewitt looks left, now comes back to the right. Steps up inside, pressure now, fires out there and caught by Holmes. And Holmes just got caught up in the wash. I think he just got behind everybody. He's going to be short of the first down, and now 4th down as Ty Wilkinson, the tight end, checks in.
Yeah, big play right here. Hewitt feels a little bit of the pressure, dodges one guy, thinks about running, and then he finds Holmes right there on the edge. And Holmes, another big catch on the sideline, a little bit short. Big 4th down play early here for the Saints.
4th and 2, and the Saints will go from the 22.
Hometown crowd getting into it, Chris.
They are on their feet on 4th down. Hewitt, quarterback keeper, and his second effort may have got them the first down. It looks like from where they're coming in to mark the ball, Bobby, he's got it.
Going to be close. Tech thinks they've got it. No signal yet. There it is right there. Big stop for the Orr-Digger defense as Carroll was driving right there. Ran that play a couple of times with the eye candy motion out of the backfield. This time Carroll packed the box, able to stuff them there as the Orr-Diggers turn the ball over, get the turnover rather. First and 10 now at the 20 for the Diggers.
And hasn't that been the case, Bobby, with Carroll this year, that bend but don't break? And Montana Tech, they give up a lot of yards on that opening drive, but when they needed to make the big play, they got the stop on 4th down.
They key in, and that's again, it doesn't matter how many yards you gain, it's how many points you put up. And right there, they keep the egg on the board, and Wilson comes out with the Orr-Diggers.
Jared Wilson keeps it, now flips it out there in the flat, incomplete.
Great play there. I think that's Grayson Keys or Gunnar Gleason. We got 247s on our roster right there. I think that's Gunnar Gleason, as a matter of fact. Linebacker stays home right there. They don't bite on the fake right there to Torgerson. stays home on the play right there, knocks it down, 2nd down and 10.
Bobby, you are right. That was Gunnar Gleasman, so 2nd and 10 from the 21. Wyke's Johnson gets the ball for the first time. Breaks a tackle, gets through initial contact. Braden Orlandi gets the tackle, the Frontier Conference Defensive MVP.
On that side of the con, we got both defensive MVPs, Chris, so we can't get him confused. He was on the west side, Tel Arthur on the east. And Orlandi, he does everything just like Tel Arthur does for the Diggers, but Orlandi everywhere for the Saints. Johnny on the spot, brings down Wyke's Johnson for a short gain on 2nd down.
Johnson, the leading carrier on this team, 835 yards, averaging nearly 5 yards a touch. Gain of 4, 3rd and 6 from the 25. 3rd down. Wilson got some speed and a first down. Wilson still on his feet. To the 40, to the 35, to the 30. Wilson down to the 20, finally tracked down to the 15-yard line, but not before a huge gainer. Elijah Larson saves the touchdown, but Bobby, did Jarrett Wilson show some speed?
Well, Jarrett Wilson, we talked about how Caden Hewitt's grown into that offense. Jarrett Wilson has done the exact same thing for this Tech offense. The +1 running game is alive and well in Butte, Montana, as we have an official down here. That's why we've got the timeout, but Jarrett Wilson does a great job just taking that, tucking it up inside, and running all the way down. It looks about they're going to put that one at the 15-yard line as they take care of the official down on the field. The back judge got caught up in the wash right there early in this one. It is cold out here, folks. We're talking sub 25 degrees. Sun's out, and you see some of these guys not wearing sleeves today. As you watch Jarrett Wilson coming right into your living room right there, turning it downfield right there as you see the official getting caught up right there at the end, hoping he's okay. But Jarrett Wilson, big explosive play, flips the field position for the Diggers.
Boy, he sure did, and what was impressive on that is the speed that Wilson showed. Once he got behind the defensive secondary, he was tough to track down, and were it not for Elijah Larson, that's 6 points in the end zone.
Well, Elijah Larson was lined up on the end of the line of scrimmage. He saw him break free right there and then just took a good angle to run him down. It looks like the back judge is going to stay in this one. Nice to see him up, walking around, shaking that one off.
So a huge gainer for the Diggers here. First down from the 15, opening drive for Montana Tech after Carroll College failed to convert on a 4th and 2 to extend their drive. Johnson in the backfield with Wilson, and this is to Torgerson. Steps up inside, he's got a lane. Levi Torgerson from 15 yards out. Touchdown Montana Tech. Wow, what a play by Torgerson as he read the defense, stepped up inside, and then an easy path to the end zone for 6.
They did a great job up front on that one, and so many times you see that jet sweep motion where the wide receiver just runs to the edge. Not that time, as Levi Torgerson able to read the blocks in front of him, puts the right foot in the ground, gives it a one cut, and gets north and south, hits his head on the goalpost, and the Diggers are up 6-0 early here.
Casey Kautzman in to attempt the extra point. Kick on the way, and this is up and through. So with 8:24 to play in the opening quarter, 15-yard touchdown run by Levi Torgerson. Montana Tech strikes first against the Saints. Welcome back to Alumni Stadium here in Butte, where Montana Tech, 11-0 on the season, looking to advance in the NAIA playoff strikes. First, you see the coaching matchup today, Troy Purcell and, of course, Kyle Sampson, who was just named the Frontier Conference East Division Coach of the Year. And both have done magnificent jobs with both programs. They both in the playoffs a couple of times head-to-head. Coach Purcell has a little bit of an advantage, but Montana Tech has had the answers in the Frontier Conference this year.
Well, both those guys coached at the high school level in Montana, brought their talents to the Frontier Conference, enjoying a lot of success at their respective programs.
This is a high short kick that Sullivan will take inside the 10-yard line. Straight ahead run, and Sully's got some room to the 40, to the 50, still on his feet to the 40, down to the 35, finally ridden out of bounds. And how about Connor Sullivan? We talk a lot about Levi Torgerson for Montana Tech, and with good reason. But, Bobby, this kid in the last 4 games of the season has been outstanding returning punts and kickoffs.
You watch him right there, just catch the ball. I'll tell you what, the guys up in front of him did a great job. Hat on a hat right there, and then he does it with his speed straight away. Not a lot of cuts and misdirection right there as Sullivan, big explosive play, takes it out over the 50, but we got a flag on this one, going to bring it back.
Oh, that's a shame. That negates a really nice return. So penalty goes against Carroll. And instead of starting deep in Montana Tech territory, they're going to go to work back inside the 20-yard line. Tough break.
Well, we talked about Baranowski's ability to kick it into the end zone. That time he went for a little height and coverage on that one. Didn't work out for him. Unfortunately for Carroll, though, they had a penalty right in front of the Tech bench. So, fortunately, if you're a Tech fan, that one worked out for you. Carroll College going back to work here with Caden Hewitt behind center.
Second possession for the Saints. This time they stay on the ground, and a whole host of Montana Tech defenders collapse on that play. Still a good gain all the way to the 25, so pickup of 7 down at the bottom of that pile for the Diggers. Roland Trent.
Vandenacre getting in the mix from his wide receiver spot, making sure that, getting a little bit of that push after contact, yards after contact, important, especially in the running game of today. The footing on that end of the field not quite as nice as it is over kind of by where we're at, Chris.
So they give him 7, 2nd and 3 from the 25. Midway through the opening quarter. And they'll stay on the ground, showing good patience. Here's Minert, and Minert up over the 30 to the 34, close to the 35, and a first down for Carroll College.
Yeah, this Carroll College ground game doing a nice job. Those offensive line up front getting good push up at the point of attack. You see it right here. Just a little counter play coming across the line, and Minert showing good patience out on the edge. Gets pushed out of bounds there late, but not before he gets enough yardage to get a new set of downs for this Saints offense.
Minert, 561 yards rushing the ball this season. Hewitt feels pressure now, goes underneath, and Minert slips out of the backfield, makes a nice catch over the 40-yard line, and they'll mark him down at the 43.
Yeah, Tyler Kovic just sitting back at his linebacker position. That one came out quick as Hewitt had a guy in his face, pitches it out to Minert, showing some ball skills right there, catches it, gets it north-south. 2nd and short here for the Saints offense, as their offense has really been clicking early here between the 20s.
Yeah, good-looking drive again, as their first one was. They got stopped on a 4th and 2 down at the 22-yard line, but here again with the football, 2nd and 1. Boy, you can do a lot of things on 2nd and 1. They move Xavier Ford out of the backfield. Hewitt got a first down and then some. Peyton Gonzer wraps him up at the 50-yard line, falls forward to the 49 in Tech territory, and a first down.
Gonzer always inserting himself in the run defense right here, as you see Hewitt not touched until he gets to that next level of the defense. So Carroll College offense getting a hat on a hat, getting a little bit of push and enough wiggle room for Caden Hewitt early here.
Well, you and I did the first meeting between these two way back on September 6th, Bobby. It was up in Helena.
It was nice.
Yeah, Tech won that game 30-19. Wykees Johnson, 178 yards rushing for Montana Tech against this Carroll defense and 3 touchdowns. And oh, by the way, 83 degrees at kickoff.
We were inside up in Helena, I remember that. We're outside
We're
today.
outside and it's 19 degrees.
We still might get a sunburn as the sun is out. The temperature's about 60 degrees less today.
Here's Hewitt feeling pressure up the middle, but a great job by Carson Ochoa. at the 20, Ochoa at the 15, and finally taken down at the 10-yard line. Carson Ochoa with a huge play. Damon Burns wraps him up, but a big gainer there.
Well, Ochoa, the do-everything tight end at the NAIA version of tight end U at Carroll College. Just a little screen dump down play to him. As you watch him right here, gets the ball in his hands, then gets north and south, gets a nice little chip block right there. And then Damon Burns, he tries to wiggle out of it, but Damon Burns, that's the second tackle on this drive. He saved a touchdown.
Hewitt throws into the end zone, and this is batted away at the last minute. Great defensive play by David Lowry, the senior from Helena. And Lowry knocks it away, second down.
Good coverage there on Sullivan. Hewitt trying to take a shot, but Lowry in great position, in phase with the receiver, able to knock that one away. Ball thrown into the sun, as that southern sun in the winter months of Montana is tough, and it's going to play a role when teams are driving into that north end zone today.
Folks, I want you to look at the crowd behind the end zone the next time you see a shot of that. That's the overflow crowd.
And the beer garden.
Coincidence? I think not.
Oh, no. You got to find a way to keep warm. I got hand warmers. They have other things.
Here's Xavier Ford now, tries to bounce it outside, and it was closed down quickly. Boy, it looked like he had a lane, but closing down is Caleb Novak, who makes the tackle, and Ford is shut down after a short run. That brings up third down.
Well, this Carroll offensive line is doing a nice job of maintaining blocks, and are the offensive receivers, running backs, and even the quarterback are getting into that second level in this Carroll College running game early.
So here we go, 3rd and 4 from the 5-yard line. Saints looking for the equalizer here. Hewitt, straight drop, feels pressure, and now it's going to be taken down at the 20-yard line, and he had absolutely no chance. Flying in was Christian Hansen, the junior out of Butte, right here in his own backyard with a 15-yard sack.
Yeah, the Butte High Bulldog zips in on that one. Hewitt trying to buy some time, but Hansen just too quick off the edge right there. Brings him down, a huge loss on 3rd down, and now it's 4th down in the kicking game, which sometimes can be a little sketchy for this Carroll College team. They come out trying to get this cut into this lead for Tech.
Nick Klaus from 37 yards, and he absolutely hammers that, but misses it wide left. So the Saints are turned away again, twice deep into the Montana Tech side of the field, but so far they've come away empty. 3:41 to go, opening quarter. Montana Tech with the lead in the football when we come back.
Hey, food today was brought to the stadium by the folks, the Orizati family here in Butte, by Pork Chop John's. That stuff is awesome. It was gone in about 30 seconds as the guys drove in. They allowed you to put whatever you want on it. Hey, I recommend loaded deluxe pork chop. Get a double chop. Heck, have some fun with it. They provided shakes. Those were gone as well, and fries. Pork Chop John's of Butte, an original in Butte, a legend in Montana. Love the Orizati family, Chris.
Man, I'll tell you.
I was raised on those.
First down, Wykees Johnson.
With blockers.
Good patience as Johnson waited for his blockers. Gets it out over the 35-yard line. A little bit of a late hit there, but no flag. That's a first down. Here's the really sad part about Porkchop Johnson. When you're a guy of my advanced age, you can't come up here and stand on scaffolding for 3.5 hours after a pork chop sandwich. So I get to watch all of you guys eat before the game.
Well, you can pick one out. Hey, just go to the old shop on Mercury. Grab a loaded chop deluxe. Get one for the family. Chris drove up with his family this morning. Get everyone for everybody. Break everybody in on the way home. It's a beautiful way to celebrate whatever it is. Thanksgiving. Wykees Johnson, nothing there.
How about that play by Henry Gross? Hello, into the backfield for that's going to be a 3-yard loss, 2nd and 13.
Gross has done a nice job from his linebacker position. I believe he is second-team all-conference this year for the Saints. As we take a look at the Montana Tech starting offense, you look at that thing, and it is absolutely littered with all-conference Eastern Division Frontier Conference players, led by Player of the Year Jarrett Wilson out of Polson. But here we got a big 2nd and about 12 here for the Orediggers.
A nice play by the Saints on first down. Torgeson, they shift him out of the backfield on 2nd down. Wilson standing at quarterback keeper all the way. He's met right at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Man, that was just a great job defensively. Coming in there to make the play was Eli Abey.
Laurel Locomotive talked to his dad before the game. The senior out of Laurel just read that one right downhill and right back into the backfield as you see that Carroll College starting defense. Conversely, on the western side, there's a ton of dudes that made all-conference. There's Eli Abey, a second-team All-Frontier Conference linebacker. And you've got right in there number 16, Braden Orlandi, the Western Frontier Conference Player of the Year on defense. So a couple of strength on strength here today in Butte.
No gain on the play, 3rd and 13 from the 34. 90 seconds to go, first quarter. Wilson looks right, comes back left, now fires down the middle. He's got a man. It's Torgeson. Torgeson to the 5, touchdown Montana Tech. Levi Torgeson got behind the Saints defense, and he is gone, baby, gone.
Well, they had exactly the right defense in that one. Unfortunately, it's Levi Torgeson. Beat the first-level defender, ran past the safety. Wilson just threw up. Not necessarily, again, not a pretty ball, but good enough for Levi Torgeson to make the adjustment in the air. Runs underneath that one and doesn't stop. Second touchdown of the day for Levi Torgeson. This one through the air. The last one on an end-around sweep that he just cut up in the middle. Torgeson having another day here in Butte.
Wow, that was a huge play on 3rd and 13.
Tech's offense today is basically run, Levi, run. Get him the ball.
Whistles fly before the ball is snapped. False start against Montana Tech.
False start. Offense, number 51. 5-yard penalty. Keep it down.
So they'll back it up 5 and try the extra point again. You know, this isn't anything new to Levi Torgeson. He came into this game, Bobby, was 83 catches. That's by far tops on the team. And 12 touchdowns. He has 2 today, so make it 14.
Well, he's got over 1,000 yards receiving, always a threat with the ball in his hands. And if you're a Carroll College Saint, you're already sick of seeing the young man.
Senior from Great Falls.
And we're standing on his family's rentals.
And extra point is up and through. So with 1:19 to play in the first quarter, Montana Tech extends the lead 14-0 our score. You're watching college football on SWX. How about one more look at this? And Wilson just put it on his number. Look at that.
Just throws it up in the middle of the field. It's easier when you're headed south. Catching that ball, Levi Torgerson runs under that one. Second time in the end zone today for the elder statesman of the Ordigger offense, Levi Torgerson, always explosive. Second time in the end zone for that young man as the Ordiggers up 14-0 early here in this one.
See him then jump over and play some more basketball.
He can do whatever he wants. He seems to score a lot of points. I'd take 14 points on the court.
I would too.
I guess 12. You got to give the extra points to somebody else, but he's got 12 today early.
And he beat Orlandi, who was the defensive player of the year in the Frontier Conference, just got behind him. And so now the Saints on the road and in trouble here in the quarter as Sullivan will try again. Up over the 15 to the 20. Sullivan to the 25. Nice move to the 30, to the 35, and out of bounds at the 37. And then he's blasted. And we'll see if they... No flag.
Nope, nice controlled move for him to get out of the end zone. Carroll, this Digger defender right there, just pushes him out. Nothing really explosive. Going on out of bounds, but another nice return by Sullivan. You talked about him really coming into his own later in the year in the Carroll College return game as he does it again, gets the ball out over the 30, almost to the 40-yard line as Carroll in good field position again here.
Well, the Saints have had two nice drives in this game. Let's see if they can come away with something now. Here's Hewitt, quarterback keeper again. Oh, this time, good job like staying right where you needed to be as Kellen Beller just stayed put, didn't bite on the play action, and was right there to meet Hewitt for a short gain. They give him 1, 2nd and 9.
Beller did a nice job allowing that play to develop, knew that he wasn't going to be able to chase down that play on the front side, stayed home on the backside and met Hewitt in the hole. Gain of 1. 2nd and 9, Carroll.
40 seconds to play, first quarter. Saints down a couple of touchdowns. Hewitt. And the give is to Minert. Minert straight ahead. Going to pick up a couple on the play. Good second effort. Finally taken down. Zach Newton was there, number 51.
He was there first, and Carroll just bunching it up in the middle, trying to get a little help from their buddies, pushing the pile every time. That time, the Diggers were game for it. Pushes them right back after a gain of about 3. Brings up 3rd and about 6, possibly 7 here for the Saints.
Big play here for the Saints. They would love to stay on the field and extend this drive, but that's going to take us to the end of the first quarter. 15 minutes of football in the books. It's been all Montana Tech so far here in Butte as they lead Carroll in the second round of the NAIA playoffs. 14-0 our score. Back with quarter number 2 after this. Did you hear that, Bobby? Coverage of today's Frontier Conference football matchup is made possible in part by Torgerson's Equipment, serving the Montana community for 5 generations. Torgerson's Equipment in Montana, Wyoming, and Idaho. And enter on cue Levi Torgerson, who has accounted for both touchdowns here in Butte this afternoon. And thanks to the Torgerson family for giving us these beautiful high aerial shots on a very crisp and cool early winter afternoon here in Butte. Plenty of sunshine. Saints 3rd and 7, huge play here as Hewitt pulls it down, but he's wrapped up and taken down. That's going to be 4th down, and again that Ordigger defense comes crashing in on a big play there by Tell Arthur, and Arthur will force the Saints to punt it away.
Tell Arthur from his linebacker spot, and then Cole Graham, as that play took too long to develop. Hewitt couldn't find, he had an underneath route coming across, but didn't have enough time as Graham and Tell Arthur able to close that one down and bring up the first punting situation today for the Saints.
Nick Klaus standing just inside his 30-yard line to kick this one away. The always dangerous Torgerson is back, and he might have a chance at this. He will field it. And here comes Torgerson up over the 30 to the 35 to the 40. Torgerson again ducks down into the 44-yard line, and again a great return. And Torgerson gives Montana Tech great field position. And Bobby, this is a point in the ball game now where if you're Carroll College, you got to be a little concerned if Montana Tech can capitalize on a short field.
Yeah, well, Tech's kept them in check. Montana Tech has kept Carroll in check a little bit, bend not break, as we see how everything finished out as Montana Tech led the East right there. But you're absolutely right, Carroll unable to put points on here early. But Tech's really relied on the explosive play and come away big first 2 drives.
This is a big series for the Carroll defense. Here's Wilson, and Wilson's going to air this one out, and this time incomplete, intended for Nick Michelotti. Flag comes in. That's going to be pass interference.
Yeah, just getting away from Vandenacre. He just hauls in and grabs him by the back of the jersey right there and hauls him down. That was an easy one to call. We saw that from all the way up here on our Torgerson lift. Easy one to call. The back judge, who was hurt early in the game, makes that one easy.
Well, back there, he was bracketed in coverage, but it looks like Daxon Graham just kind of maybe hooked up with him right before he was able to go for the ball. So the pass interference gives the Diggers a first down from the 43-yard line. Just underway, second quarter.
He's 7 on offense. That's my bad.
That's okay.
So many double numbers. Such a small brain.
42-yard line after the penalty. And Milanowski's got some room still on his feet. Down inside the 25 to the 20 and inside the 20. Nate Milanowski looked like he had nothing at the point of attack, Bobby, but he kept the feet going, broke through the initial tackle, and got a big gainer down inside the 20-yard line.
Well, all these running backs, both sides of it, just showing good patience in the run game, letting blocks develop as Milanowski. We'll find him just a second as he runs out on the edge on the right side right there. Makes a couple of guys miss, gets good yardage as Milanowski, showing that he's another capable back in this ever-deepening offensive backfield for Montana Tech.
Milanowski second on the team in rushing with 385 yards and 5 touchdowns. Got a first down here from the 18, so 1st and 10. Milanowski stays in the game. Gets the ball again. Milanowski straight up the middle to the 10. Falls forward close to a first down. And Milanowski showing some great speed at the point of attack. And Milanowski, big gainer there, the senior out of Grand Rapids, Michigan.
See that cutback right there. Great vision by the running back. Milanowski cuts that one back against the grain as everything was filled front side. Hat in the gap for the Carroll College Saints. He cuts it back, finds an open space. Another first down for the Carroll College Saints. I'm sorry, the Montana Tech Ordiggers.
Double tight end look here on the right side. And that's right where Milanowski goes on 2nd and 1. And hit right at the line of scrimmage, and he's going to be right at the first down marker. It's going to be 3rd down.
Host the Saints right there, plugging it up inside. Milanowski not much on first down there. But this Montana Tech offense has done this all year, Chris, this running game. Just get on guys, lean on them a little bit, create a little bit of space between Milanowski, Wykees Johnson, and even Jarrett Wilson getting into the game a little bit in the running game. This running game for Montana Tech has been proficient all year long.
So 3rd and 1 now from the 9. Wilson, quarterback keeper, falls forward, first down to the 5, inside the 5, and a 1st and goal now from the 4. So Wilson again showing good patience. Let that opening on the left side get there for him, hits it, first down.
Yeah, Braden Orlandi was right there, finally comes in. You'll see him coming to your screen late, meets him right there, drives his speed through the tackle, good tackle, but not before a good gain on first down by Wilson. Kind of had a sneaking suspicion that was coming. No running backs in the game. Levi Torgerson motions out in the backfield. And Wilson, a ton of yards this year, Offensive Player of the Year. Just an all-around great year. First 11-0 season for the Ore Diggers in the history of the program. We're going to get a chance to talk to a piece of Ore Digger history at halftime, and Coach Bob Green, as Wilson doesn't like what he sees, going to take a timeout here.
So Wilson calls the timeout. They'll talk it over. And we'll step aside as well. 11 minutes to play first half. Montana Tech with a 1st and goal from the 4 when we come back. And our keys to the game today brought to you by Butte Auto. Easy to find off I-90. At the Harrison Avenue exit in Butte, find your next ride at Butte Auto. We should mention, Bobby, for those that maybe just joining us or just joining us for the NAIA playoffs, 20 teams started. There were 4 games played last week, so 4 advanced, and so 16 teams remain heading into today. So 8 games in all being played. College of Idaho leading Morningside 14-0. So 1st and goal now from the 4. Jarrett Wilson out of the gun has Milanowski. And the give is to Milanowski, and he is met at the line of scrimmage and brought down. Boy, nice job that time by the interior of that Saints defense.
Yeah, big Forrest Swirl wasn't having any of it right there. Met him right in the gap. 0 yards. Good job by Milanowski to get back to the line of scrimmage. But the defensive front at Carroll College having none of it early here.
You just get the sense they're setting up something that's going to pop to the outside.
Well, Tech does a lot of stuff, pre-snap, little motion and shift action, get you off balance just a little bit, second guessing. That time they just lined up and went with it. Carroll adjusted to it, had none of it. Expect a little trickeration here prior to the snap, maybe a little motion.
2nd down, here comes Torgerson. And they go back the other way to Milanowski. And he is wrapped up by Eli Abey at the 2-yard line. He'll be short of the goal line, so they used Torgerson as the decoy.
Absolutely.
Fake to him and went the other way with Milanowski.
Milanowski, it looked like they had something there, but Eli Abey able to scrape from his linebacker position, met him right on the edge, got a couple, but kept him out of the end zone. See it right there, coming right at you. Guys doing great work on this frigid day here in Butte. If you're raised in Butte, I was up on Granite Street for a number of years. This is baseball weather, Chris. Too bad that they built a brand new building in the baseball field where the Copper Kings played, but the football field's still here.
They used to play baseball here, didn't they?
Yes, they did.
Back in the day. 3rd and goal. They got halfway home from the 2. And now another timeout is taken.
Yeah, late substitution, trying to get Milanowski off the field on that one. Coach Kyle Sampson, the AFCA Region 5 Coach of the Year, decides to take a timeout. Small college coaches get rewarded. As you see Coach Purcell, he's had a few accolades of his own.
Well, he sure has, and done a terrific job, as we mentioned here. And as you mentioned, both had great success at the high school level.
Absolutely.
Here in Montana. Coach Purcell, one of those guys.
Yeah, he was at Havre, was at Bozeman. He's asking the officials right now, how come I don't have too many men in, how come we don't get tech for too many men in the huddle? He's like, that's your one miss. That's your one miss. He's having some fun with it right there. And then Coach Kyle Sampson up at Flathead, building that program before turning it over. And coming down here to Tech, where he's the offensive coordinator for a couple of years before stepping into the head coaching role. But both these guys steeped in Montana tradition and keeping their programs really relevant in the national scene.
That Coach Purcell won a state title with Havre in 2004, beat Billings Central, and then had 5 great years at Bozeman.
Absolutely, he did. Everywhere he's gone, he's left his impact in a positive way, doing the same thing at Carroll, taking over for a legend in Mike Van Diest, building it in his own image now.
3rd and goal, it's Wilson, and he is going to be met and taken down. We'll see where they mark it. They're going to mark him just short of the first down. That was Gage Norsline, who sliced in and kept Wilson out. Now decision time here, as there's an injured player on the field. If you're Montana Tech, are you just putting the hammer down in 4th and goal, or do you take the field goal and go up 17? I think they'll go.
You've got that option, right? With 14 points right now, you could pin them back. You like your chances, right?
Yeah.
But, you can sit there and talk about it all you want. You got to you know that your offensive line wants to push it in right here, but you've got an offensive lineman down on the field. So that could play into the decision by Coach Sampson as he's over there tending to his charge on the field here in Butte.
Looks like Jacob Graves is the injured player for Montana Tech. So the ball is sitting right at the 1-yard line, and decision time for Montana Tech. If you go and convert, then you're up a commanding 20-point lead and really starting to put some distance in this game. If you don't get it, then you're forcing Carroll College to go 99 yards the other way.
Well, if you're Tech, your defense has played very, very well. That bend to break, don't break style that they've really lived by all year. As they get the young man off the field right here, it's tough to see that in the playoffs as one of your stalwarts up front gets help off the field. But you've got kickers warming up. You've got a gigantic huddle right there. Kautzman, the Butte native, he doesn't mind the cold, Chris.
No, he does not. You're right, Bobby. A tough break for Jacob Graves, senior, 6'2", 295-pounder, out of Kuna, Idaho. You hate to see anybody go down.
Done a great job all year. That running game at Tech, just so multiple, and a lot of that hard work is done by Graves and his buddies up front. Hopefully that's not too serious as they jog the offense back out here on the field.
They will go on 4th and 1. There you talk about all that shifting they like to do. So Wilson, they give to Milanowski. Nope, he is stopped short. So the Saints come up with a must-stop scenario here. They get the football back.
Gunnar Julio, Forrest Suero, Denavian Ali right in there. Julio, an all-conference safety. Mr. Turnover for Carroll College, comes downhill, meets him at about the 1-yard line, drives him back. And so Carroll with a big defensive stop, looking for a little bit of momentum on their part, coming right into your screen right there.
Oh, that was 3rd and goal. The scoreboard showed 4th and goal. So now we've got 4th and goal from the 1. Kautzman on for the field goal, and this one is up, and it is good. Kind of hooked it a little bit, but managed to get it through. So tack on 3 more. 8:33 to play in the first half. Tech on top 17-0 over Carroll. Montana Tech Tech's on a field goal with 8:33 to play here in the first half as they lead 17-0. And Bobby, you can't underestimate just how good this Montana Tech team has been this year. They've been ranked in the top 5 all season long. They finished number 4. They have a 3 seed in the NAIA playoffs coming into this tournament. And then, of course, the perfect record, 11-0.
Well, we had one of the keys to the game today is, are they going to be rusty with the rest that they got last week? They're not rusty at all. They're hitting on all cylinders right there. Carroll College really did a nice job keeping them out of the end zone on that one. But this Montana Tech offense, really, the multiplicity of it, they're able to hit big plays in the passing game. A lot of it that rides on the shoulders of Levi Torgerson. But what an advantage they have in having that young man, especially with the young quarterback and the development he's shown throughout the course of this season.
Ryder Baranowski kicks it into the end zone for the touchback. And now the Saints back to work on offense. And Bobby, they've shown the ability to move the football against the Sword-Digger defense and move it well. They just haven't been able to capitalize inside the red zone.
Well, we talked about the ability for Tech's defense to just, between the 20s, they'll let you do whatever you want. They bow up about the 20-yard line. They'll let you settle for a field goal all you want. They've done a nice job today of keeping Tech off the scoreboard to this point.
So here's Hewitt now out of the gun on first down from the 20. Hewitt looks, he's going to air one out, and this one is incomplete, intended for Vandenaker. Back there in coverage was David Lowry, just overthrew him.
He had a couple of guys as they ran guys across the field. Vandenaker was coming open. He had another receiver coming underneath from this side of the field that was wide open too. That one just a little bit long as the sun is in their face, but this is the advantage side of the field to throw the ball.
Vandenaker out of Townsend. Pretty good high school football program over there.
They've strung some teams together, haven't they, Chris?
They have. So incomplete pass, 2nd and 10. And this time, ball on the ground, flags come in. False start.
Well, there's a case where the false start actually helps you out, right?
And
nobody likes to have that happen, but right there, the snap was rumbling around in the backfield. Luckily, your Carroll College offense, they blew that one dead with the false start, so things worked out. Even with the penalty, still Carroll has the ball. As I believe a Tech defender picked that one up and had to hand it to the official.
2nd and 15 from the 20. And they get it to Sullivan, who's going to be wrapped up and taken down, read perfectly by Christian Hansen. And the junior from Butte absolutely stones that play.
Great job from his corner position right there. Defeats a block at the point of attack. He wasn't having any of it right there. He gets off, sheds the block from Ochoa, Sneaks underneath that one and brings up 3rd and forever here for this Carroll offense. Need a big play here if you're a Saint fan.
Ball at the 17, 3rd and 18. Crowd is deafening here at Bob Green Field. Hewitt with a straight drop, getting pressured now, rolls out of it. Chased by Tel Arthur, and Arthur's finally going to get him, along with Peyton Gonzer.
Good run by Hewitt, well short of the first down though. Going to bring out the punting team for Carroll College as Tech dropped everybody in coverage, tried to get pressure with 3, flushes Hewitt, gets him downfield, and forces another Carroll College punt here.
So another stop for this Ordigger defense. We told you how good they were at the top. They give up just 14 points a game. 4th and 10 from the 25. Klaus kicks this one away from Torgerson, who fields it inside the 30. Torgerson makes one move, now steps up to the 35, to the 40, now still on his feet. Tries to get to the edge, and he does. To midfield, and then finally out of bounds at the 48-yard line. And Montana Tech will start inside Carroll College territory, but hang on, there's a flag on the play.
So dangerous with the ball in his hands. They tried kicking it away from him. Guy's got a little range on him. They like that term in baseball, a guy that's rangy. Levi Torgerson is rangy.
Hold it. Return team, number 58. 10 yards from the spot and foul. First down.
Boy, that's about the only thing that has stopped this special teams play of Montana Tech. Is that'll back them up, and they'll start deep in their own end.
That one you saw, they find ways to get the ball in his hands, and on that one, Klaus kicks him a ball. He did exactly as he was coached, kicking away from the kid. Torgerson runs that one down, all for naught as the holding play brings the ball back inside the 30 to the 22. That's where the Ordiggers start this one.
First down, just under 7 to play, first half. I'll stay on the ground. And Milanowski gets a couple, not much there. Give him 2, 2nd and 8.
Yeah, it looked like Tech had the edge early right there, and then the pursuit of the defense able to shut that one down for a minimal gain on first down. Going to get another holding call on the interior of the Tech deep offensive line, rather.
So that'll really back this Tech offense up, as they will mark him back to the 12-yard line. 1st and 20. And while we've got a moment, Bobby, speaking of top 10 programs and nationally ranked programs, congratulations to both Montana and Montana State. Both programs have a bye before the playoffs begin for them next week. Both will be at home in Missoula and Bozeman.
Big weekend last weekend. This one Frontier style. Big weekend here as we watch Wilson with the quarterback keeper out close to the 30-yard line. Good play on 1st and 20. I don't know what you dial up there, but Kyle Sampson figured it out, drew it up on the snow on the sidelines.
So a big run by Wilson all the way out to the 26.
14-yard gain on the play.
14-yard gain. And a much more 2nd and 6 now from the 26.
Yeah, 14 yards on a quarterback run play right there. He just read that one perfectly. Nobody out on the left side of that Carroll College defense. Wilson able to take it, run it out of bounds, doesn't get a hit. Gets him in second and manageable here as this Tech offense still running on all cylinders.
Wilson, the sophomore quarterback from Polson. Polson Pirates. And a give straight ahead close to the 30. The line to gain is the 30. He'll be about a half a yard short, 3rd down.
Well, you got to remember that Jarrett Wilson was in a pretty back and forth battle for the quarterback spot as we watched them early in the season. He gained that starting position the first couple weeks of October and has since then made it his own. Had a great year, all conference, Frontier Conference, Eastern Player of the Year. And so he's really taken ownership of this offense, and you can see why with his running ability.
So 3rd and 3 from the 29. for Montana Tech. There's Wilson. Wilson, quarterback keeper. He's got the first down and more. Nice job selling the fake. And turns to the outside, gets the first down, taken down by Julio, but not before he picks up the first down.
Well, he had Gunnar Gleesman right in his face right there. Just the little play action right there. He's looking downfield. Gleesman's right in his face, makes him miss, just pulls it down, and we saw what he could do in the running game right there. And Julio delivers a shot, but not before Wilson does some damage with his legs, gets the Orediggers another set of downs.
Norsline checks in for the Saints on defense, first down. And now come around to Torgerson. Torgerson, almost broke another tackle, but Julio makes a huge open field tackle at the 45-yard line, or that could have been a huge gain.
Well, it's just a little flip as we have another offensive lineman down here for Tech. But this field is slick. You can see guys slipping in the secondary. It was frozen. They had to clear the snow off. But it's slick and has proven treacherous for the interior lineman of Montana Tech.
Yeah, that's the second offensive lineman to go down for Montana Tech today. And that's where it all starts, is up front. And there's Torgerson, and right there, Julio with a nice open field tackle, but it's still a first down gain.
Everything got gummed up on the right side, and the young man down on the field got caught up in the mix there.
8 games in the NAIA playoffs today. We mentioned the College of Idaho also playing, and they're facing off against Morningside over in Caldwell today. And the College of Idaho leading in that game. What do we got?
They got 20-7 in Caldwell. 2 minutes left in the first half of that one. So College of Idaho finding some success in the NAIA playoffs, much like their counterparts here at Montana Tech.
Good look at Coach Sampson, the Frontier Conference Coach of the Year. Why? Well, 11-0 is a pretty good place to start.
They were asking us in the truck, what kind of stats do you put up for the coach? I looked right at it, I was like, 11-0. Just put up 11-0.
That works.
That's the only stat that matters. Coach Kyle Sampson buried in amongst the tall trees of the offense right there as they're...
Well, the apple doesn't far too fall in the Sampson family, does it? Mark Sampson, a great coach. And of course, Kyle played for him at MSU Northern.
Coach Sampson, great career at Helena Capital. Took his talents to Montana State University Northern. Really, the last time they had success at MSU Northern was when Mark Sampson was coaching and Kyle was at quarterback.
And he was a good one. Milanowski dancing around, tries to get to the outside, and tripped up and taken down. Caden Hansen in on the stop.
Great use of the stiff arm right there. Puts Caden Hansen right on the end of it. And Milanowski gets another 3 or 4 yards after first contact right there. Watch this, boom, right into the chest. Gets upfield. Larson able to stop him, but not before he picks up 7 yards. That's one of those things that the kids are doing now with the 6-7 thing. I don't know if you're privy to that, but it drives me nuts at my house.
If you know what it is, will you explain it to me after the game?
I still don't know. I just annoy my kid with it, trying to be the hip dad every once in a while with the 6-7.
Gain of 6, 2nd and 4. And Milanowski, good hard run. He'll be a yard short of the first down. We saw Wykees Johnson in the opening drive of the game, the team's leading scorer, and Bobby, we have not seen him since.
Yeah, ran right into Braden Orlandi right there. Just good head of steam coming downhill. Wykees Johnson got the first 2 series, and then Nate Milanowski's had the last couple right there. Imagine Wykees Johnson. This is a little bit of change of scenery for that young man, as we've had great weather all fall. He comes out after Thanksgiving, he's like, where did the weather come from?
And winter came overnight, didn't it?
Well, he's so explosive in that running game.
He is. So 3rd and 1 from the 46.
Coach Sampson didn't like that one. Ran down, called timeout right before the snap.
And I think that is their
Final timeout of the half.
Yeah, that was their final timeout of the first half. Now they still have the 2-minute timeout.
Yep.
And still 2:29 on the clock. So already in Carroll College territory, boy, 7 points here, and the Saints would be in dire straits. The one thing about Montana Tech, and we have seen this in their games this year, where they've jumped out to big leads and they let teams just kind of sneak back in and make it a game. It happened right here on this field against Rocky Mountain College when they were dominating the game. Bears got back to within 10 in the second half. There's been a couple of games this year where the Orediggers has not quite been able to put teams away completely.
Well, it happened in the first game of the game this year when we were here watching Montana Western. We had a big third quarter, made this one a game before Tech pulled away late. As we see the Frontier Conference Players of the Year, Levi Torgerson, Jarrett Wilson over there, Tell Arthur, Braden Orlandi, guys that have had great seasons. Braden Orlandi, the lone Carroll College representative up there. But all these young men on the field today looking to move it on as this one goes on a little bit further. Pitch and catch.
Torgerson and Orlandi with a sensational play as he goes back and knocks that one down. Tried to get it out to Torgerson, but how about Braden Orlandi back there in single coverage and played it perfectly, sets up fourth down.
Yeah, a couple of good players right there as Carroll College got good pressure on Wilson, and Orlandi was in great position right there. Goes up and makes the athletic play as Tech, 4th and 1 here, still has the offense on the field.
Well, this is a huge play for Carroll College if they can somehow manage to get a stop here. That would give the Saints great field position and time to go down and put something on the board. 4th and 1. Here we go. And Torgerson's going to be, oh boy, this is going to be close.
He's not going to get it, Chris. He's short. He got tripped up in the backfield. Looked like he might get the edge right there. Tried to get north and south, but somebody was following him pretty closely. Just shoestring tackle. There's Braden Orlandi jogging off the field. As Carroll College gets a big defensive stop they need. Right there in the end, just falling into it. That's Eli Abey.
Yep.
Abey just scraping down from his linebacker spot, falls back inside, able to trip up Torgerson before he can pick up the necessary yardage for first down. So Carroll College, a little bit of momentum before the half. Got 23 seconds before the 2-minute timeout.
And a chance here.
Little switch at quarterback.
New quarterback coming in is Quinn Stamps, a senior, on in relief of Caden Hewitt. So first down from the 46. Stamps feels pressure, and he's going to be wrapped up and taken down. Great job defensively by Anthony Oakes, who ran him down for the loss.
Just a good speed rush off the edge there, the left side of the Carroll offensive line. Here comes Ford into the game. There's a little bit of confusion on that one as you just see Anthony Oakes using his speed to get upfield. And Carroll going to let this one run down to the 2-minute timeout, Chris.
So we've reached the 2-minute mark of the first half, 2nd and 16 for the Saints when we come back down 17-0 to Montana Tech. Second and 16 from the 40-yard line. Quinn Stamps at quarterback in relief of Caden Hewitt. And a tall order here against this Tech defense. Stamps with a straight drop, looks right, fires out that way, and that just sails
A little
over
high
the head
for
of
Connor Sullivan.
Yeah, incomplete, third down.
You can tell the young man's a little amped up as that one came out a little high as Quinn Stamps, young man, redshirt senior from Chelan, Washington, fires a little bit high for Sullivan. Brings up third and about 16 here for the Saints.
Well, not only do you come in cold, but you have to come in and face one of the top defensive units in the Frontier Conference. So third and 16 from the 40. And Stamps rolls out to his right, now looks downfield, and this one is
what a
caught
great
at the
catch.
40. That is an amazing catch.
That's who you got to find, though.
Ochoa.
The big senior tight end, Ochoa, first team all-conference. One of the best players in the NAIA right here. And he is your safety blanket if you're the quarterback. He's going to do everything he can to get that ball. There's 4 ore diggers around. Who do you go to? 82.
Here's Stamps. Now throws underneath for Xavier Ford. And that's an incomplete pass. Brings up second down.
Gotta have those easy pitch and catch plays right there as Ford lets that one slip off the end of that one. He had a little bit of room to operate with should he have come down with that one. Gotta step up big, get some playoffs. Gotta get some points on the board if you're Carroll College here late in this half.
And Ochoa had one big catch early in the first quarter, Bobby, and we have not heard from him since. So they go back to him here when they need it. And as you mentioned, he is a great security blanket for the quarterback. So let's see what they do here on 2nd and 10 from the 38. 1:32 to play, first half. Carroll has all 3 timeouts remaining. Here comes pressure up the middle. Stamps, plenty of time, looks left, now throws underneath for Ford. Ford to the 30, inside the 30. And he'll be a couple of yards short of the first down.
It's going to be close. That time, that offensive line for Carroll College did a great job of protecting the quarterback. Finds his outlet in Ford.
And he does indeed get the first down. So right at the 28, first down. Stamps. Now looks back of the end zone, and this is in and out of the hands of Connor Sullivan.
Boy, that was close. He did come down with that just too far out of bounds. Great defensive back play on the side there. All the way down there as we're trying to get a second look at that one. But I believe it was Christian Hansen, as you see this one coming just to the opposite side of the field. But Christian Hansen bodies up Sullivan. Not in control in the field of play.
That was an amazing catch, even though he was not able to stay in bounds.
Did a great job. That was just a good football play. Went the way of the Diggers, that one, as a lot of plays have today.
2nd and 10 from the 28. Stamps, looks left, now rolls right. Has time, and that ball is intended for Lincoln Holmes.
Got that one, got his hands underneath that one. Stayed in bounds, though, as the clock continues to tick down.
It looked like that ball may have hit the ground. They give him the catch.
Coach Purcell's going to take a timeout here.
Uses the first of his 3 timeouts and
gets his hands underneath it. Lincoln Holmes, we don't talk about him enough, but that guy absolutely makes key plays and key moments. As Stamps flush from the pocket right here, sees Holmes, and he was able to get his hands underneath that one. Stays in bounds zone, so Coach Purcell takes the timeout. Preserve a little time, 40 seconds, talk it over, as the Saints are in a must-score situation with their backup quarterback, but driving here late in the first half of this one.
Whole new game if they can score here. Hey, stay with us at halftime.
The legend.
Yeah, Bob Green, we'll hear from him. We'll take you around the NAIA and check in on all the playoff matchups. And, of course, we'll have the first half highlights as well. That's all coming your way at the half on SWX. But yeah, if the Saints can get into the end zone here, Bobby, that's a game changer in this game.
Well, they need a little momentum, right? They took the ball in the first half, so they come down, kick the ball off to the Saints in the Ore Diggers in the second half, stop them there, I mean, this is a must-score situation for Carroll College. Got to come away with points here.
3rd and 1 from the 19. And now they fake the kick and then throw it, and into the end zone. It's underthrown and an incomplete pass. Well, that was an interesting play they dialed up. They put Jake Jeske in the backfield.
Going to go with a little push action.
But it's not a bad play because it's 4-down territory anyway, so they're going to go.
They called 2 plays right there. It's always tough when you put the ball in somebody's hands that's not used to throwing it. Has fooled everybody upstairs. That one just a little bit underthrown. As Vandenacre did make a good adjustment initially, but unable to come up with that one as it was woefully underthrown.
So here we go on a 4th and 1 from the 19. Now Stamps out of the gun. And he looks for Ochoa, and Ochoa, ball batted down and incomplete. And that's
Damon
just
Burns
great defense.
Does a great job right
Damon
there.
Burns.
Wasn't fooled at all, was he, Chris?
No. Oh, they were going to Ochoa all the way, and Burns was there to knock it down, and Montana Tech turns the Saints away yet again in this NAIA playoff game.
Yeah, but don't break style pays off for Tech again as they keep the goose egg up for Carroll College here. Ball's turned over on downs, and here comes the Tech offense with a little bonus drive at the end of the half.
Stamps is a big guy. I mean, 6'4", 225. Not sure why they just didn't push him over, but
not the running threat that Caden Hewitt is as the stands are starting to clear out, as they're going to go and warm up a little bit in various styles here in Butte.
So the players are heading for the sideline, but the Montana Tech offense, now they're going to let it tick down. So that will indeed be the final play of the first half. So 1 half of football in the books in this second round NAIA college football matchup so far. It's been all Montana Tech as they lead the Saints of Carroll College 17-0 at the break. Stick around. Halftime is next. I wonder if do you think, Bobby, we'll still have sun at the end of the game? Okay. It's wishful thinking. Can you say that again? Yeah, I can do that.
Go get him, Coach.
Time from Bob Greenfield, Montana Tech, with a 17-0 lead over Carroll. And who better to interview at halftime than the man, the myth, the legend himself, Mr. Bob Green. Thank you so much for joining us today, Bob. And really been a special season for the Orediggers. And, something I'm curious asking you about, a catchphrase, really, that they've seemed to adapt this year more in the past is EMETAD, E-M-E-T-A-D. You're the originator of that. Can you tell the people what exactly that means, what it stands for?
Well, what EMETAD means was the last thing we'd say before we ran on the field. Every man, every time, all day. And that just kind of caught on, and so that's what they use a lot. So I'm glad they do it. Hey, they're playing really well. I'm not sure it has anything to do with EMETAD, though. They're just executing really well.
Well, everything about execution, considering the legendary career that you've had here. Obviously, a Hall of Famer at the school, a Butte Sports Hall of Famer. And, something I'm curious about, they established a sort of program scholarship in your honor this year. Tell me a little bit about what that entails, Bob.
Well, we've got a couple of scholarships there, and what that does, essentially, that enables guys to help players have the same experience they did. They're paying it forward. They're letting guys have an experience like they did. They had an experience that they treasured and got a really good degree, so they're hoping somebody else can do the same thing, and they're helping with their money to do it.
Now, happy to hear it. Absolute legend here, of course, a cancer survivor as well. What hasn't Bob Green done? And, you've been watching the game here, Bob. It's been pretty good for the Orediggers early on. What have you seen that you liked?
Well, I really like the way we're playing. I think our offensive and defensive fronts are really playing well. We got a couple of injuries in the offensive front I'm a little concerned about. I think that overall, if we can we've had a couple of mistakes, that's football. We just got to keep the level of our intensity up. If I were at halftime, I'd tell them, go to the toilet, get a little Gatorade, and let's go do the same stuff. They're playing well.
I was going to say, if you're getting into that huddle right before the second half, what are the things that you're telling the players?
Well, yeah, you got to say, hey, the little picture's here, the big picture's win this game and keep advancing.
All right, appreciate you coming on, Bob Green. Thank you so much. Absolute legend here. We'll be back after this. Highlights of the first half recap. It's a Montana Tech 17-0 lead over Carroll. You're watching on SWX.
Bobby, my boy! Good to see you. I'm good. I'm excellent.
Thank you so much, Bob.
So far, so good.
There you are. Yes, sir.
Okay, man.
Oh,
Let's see, we're here. Come on now. There we go.
There you are.
Thanks, brother.
Thank you so much.
Yep.
That was good, Bill. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. This can go right in here. Do you want it broke down? Okay.
And welcome back to Bob Green Field here in Butte. Halftime is our score. Montana Tech leads at 17-0 over Carroll College. And Bobby, so far it's gone the way Tech would like it to go. And while Carroll College has been pitched the shutout, they've yet to score. They've moved the ball pretty well here in the first half.
Well, Tech's done everything they've really wanted to, right? Just controlling the line of scrimmage, taking shots downfield in the passing game. In Carroll College, while they've had some pretty good-looking drives, that Tech defense has really not allowed anything happen positively for them to finish those things. They had a missed field goal, missed shot there at the end of the half, and this one's kind of, going the way of the Diggers so far.
Yeah, and here's the rest of the playoffs today. We said there was 8 second-round games, and here they are. St. Francis, the 16th seed, taking on number 1 Grandview. They finished number 1 in the country. Southeastern and Kaiser, that's a couple of Sun Conference teams that are playing each other in more of a regional matchup, as is Carroll and Montana Tech. William Penn is at Friends. Campbellsville, Kentucky at Benedictine. Dort, Iowa at Marion. Indiana Wesleyan at Lindsey Wilson. And, of course, Morningside out in Caldwell taking on the other Frontier Conference team that's in the postseason, 8th-seeded College of Idaho. And so far, College of Idaho has been dominating that game.
Yeah, 20-7 at the half down in Caldwell, Idaho. NAIA second-round playoffs. You guys need a roadmap and an apple to figure out where everything is on this one. This is almost like a geography lesson. You got to find out where Grandview is in Iowa. You got to find the 2 schools in Florida. But these are the teams that really have been consistently in the top 20, top 15 across all of the polls all season long. We've had some pretty good battles in the Frontier, and we've got 3 teams left. There'll be at least 1 left here in Boulder. I'm sorry. Speaking of road
we're
maps,
in Butte,
we're
Bobby.
in Butte. Yep, I'm going to go out to halftime in the parking lot.
I think maybe you already did.
My brain's frozen.
Yeah, it is.
Could
cool.
be from exposure.
I just got a text from a buddy of mine and said, "You guys look frozen." It's kind of true.
You got to text them back and say confirmed.
Confirmed. Yep. Right. Roger that. But winter has definitely arrived, and we got up this morning at 6 inches of snow in Billings and made our way over. So there's the rest of the matchups in the Frontier Conference or in the NAIA playoffs. Second round, of course, 8 teams will be alive after today, and then the playoffs will roll on. So right now, where we stand at the half, Carroll College in a big, big hole, Bobby. And we mentioned they lost the first meeting to Montana Tech back in September, 30-19, but losing to Montana Tech's been nothing new to everybody in the Frontier, as they've been the dominant team. And listening to the Coach Green interview, the only time Montana Tech was ever in an NAIA national championship game was in 1996, and that was Coach Green's team. And they actually played Carroll College right here in the national semifinals in 96. They won that game, and then they went on to lose by 2 points in the NAIA championship to Southeastern Oklahoma, 33-31 on a safety call that gave them the win. But 1996, that's a long time in between national championship appearances. But boy, what they've done in the meantime, not bad. 6 national titles.
Well, Carroll College, really has been the face of the Frontier, and as Mike Van Diest reeled off 6 national championships, and they did it in multiple ways, and it gave the rest of the Frontier kind of that carrot to chase. And it's been nice to see the wealth spread around as Carroll's back in the playoffs under Coach Troy Purcell now, and Kyle Sampson has brought a lot of pride and tradition back to Montana Tech. Of course, we saw the legend Bob Green, and playing against Bob Green was a lot of fun. Now, I myself maybe lost 1 game to Coach Green, and you always knew where he was, right? I mean, you heard him before you saw him. And what a great dude. Great for football. The city of Butte, really not necessarily, he's from Nebraska, but he really adopted Butte as his hometown, raised his family here, and he really has become really an internet sensation. Some of his sayings have gone viral, and it really added to the mystique of Montana Tech football. So it's great to have that dude on here. Always a good dude. And I go back a long ways in football in Montana, and you can't really go anywhere without having a Bob Green story. And it's great to have that guy who really was a legendary coach here on the hill in Butte, and just having him around, it brings a smile to your face because all is well.
All right, so yes, indeed, and Coach Green, of course, as you said, got Tech to the NAIA title game in '96. They'd like to get there again. All right, we'll step aside. When we come back, we'll take a look at the first half highlights, squarely in favor of the home team, Montana Tech, when we continue on here in Butte. Welcome back to halftime here in Butte. Montana Tech 11-0 on the season, on top of Carroll College, 17-0 at the break. And as we take a look at the first half highlights again, Carroll College is a team, Bobby, that was able to move the football in the first two quarters. They just couldn't finish off drives.
Yeah, largely behind the legs of Caden Hewitt. You see him here right there, big chunk play, quarterback run action right there, and pitching the ball downfield, finds Lincoln Holmes. Little success early in the first quarter right there, as Xavier Ford gets a good positive run on first down right there, and then Ford again right here. We haven't seen much of Minert right there, as Tel Arthur able to bring Ford down, not allowing him into the end zone. That's been huge. As Montana Tech, Waukese Johnson getting the carry right there, but not before Henry Gross brings him down, and then bring in the backup quarterback and find the big tight end, Carson Ochoa. 4 Orediggers around him, but Ochoa finds a way to bring that one down. And then, of course, the quarterback on the other side, Jarrett Wilson, able to open this one up. Brings it right down the field. The +1 running game was alive and well in the first quarter as Wilson drug down there, finds his way. They find their way into the end zone, and then the defense shows up. The bend, don't break style allows 0 on the board right there. Another sack of Caden Hewitt. And then we got Waukese Johnson finding a little space on the edge right there in the cold. And then Levi Torgerson put the right foot in the ground, get north-south, young man. Shows everybody he still got the ball in his hand, gives it to the official real quick, pumping up that crowd here in Butte. And then Levi Torgerson just pitching it up. And then who? Levi Torgerson runs underneath it and then just runs away into the end zone. Second touchdown of the first half. The Orediggers have put up another field goal and go up 17-0 at the end of this one. Defense is playing well. Offense is playing well. Had a couple of special teams plays mixed in there, but as they go into the half, a little bit Under 4 minutes and 30 seconds left in the half of this one. We got the Ore Diggers up 17-0 in Butte here at Bob Green Field. Talk to the legend himself. Halftime here. Kind of exciting, Chris.
All right, so we'll step aside one more time. Stay with us. The third quarter is straight ahead on SWX. Closing in on the start of the second half of this afternoon's game, 17-0, our halftime score. Looking at the first half numbers, Bobby, they definitely reflect what we're seeing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, Carroll had a great start to this one. You know, a couple of good drives deep in Tech territory, just unable to put any points on that one, as Carroll did come away with some good explosive runs from the quarterback spot. Hewitt not able to finish the half. We'll see if he hops out here the second half, as we're looking for him here on the sideline. But as we see this, first down's pretty similar, but Montana Tech had some explosive running plays. Jarrett Wilson had the big one, had the touchdown run by Torgerson right there, 152 yards, but conversely been able to hold that Carroll running game to 39 yards after some early success. They started bogging up the middle right there, and you're seeing Carroll College 3 sacks today of Caden Hewitt for 22 yards. That's a big one right there. And then if you look at the time of possession right there, it's going to be pretty even. But then the efficiency on third down is Montana Tech, 67%.
Yeah, and Bobby, worth noting, if you remember, Carroll College elected to take the football to start the game, which means now Montana Tech is going to get it to start the third quarter. So they were trying to get the ball, get off to a quick start. And also in this game now, Caden Hewitt, Chris Akulchin, and Brett Tomasini are all out of the game. And those are 3 of the very best players in this Saints team. So
Tough enough when you're down 17, but you're going without a couple of your top players on offense and one on defense.
Montana Tech suffered some injuries of their own up front on offense. We're going to see if that offensive line can gel here in the second half for the Orediggers, as they've had pretty good run and space up front today.
And Torgerson will down it, and they'll have the football to start the second half, leading 17-0. And so now, if you're Montana Tech and you're Coach Sampson, and you're looking at this Carroll team that's a little banged up and beat up, you're telling your guys, hey, let's go out and let's go put our foot on them in the third quarter, put a score on the board, and really put the pressure on their backup quarterback to do something big in the second half.
Their identity is built up front on offense. They've down a couple of starting offensive linemen. They've been carted off the field. Got to find a way for those front five to gel again here early in the second half.
First play, low snap. Good job by Wilson. But that is nothing doing on that play as Braden Orlandi snakes in there.
Forrest Suero, Denavian Ali.
We haven't called Denavian Ali's name much today, and he's their big sack guy. They've done a good job containing him.
The Orediggers haven't had to pass much. Couple of big shots down the field.
Yeah, if you're Carroll College, 3 and out is what you're looking for here. Just underway in the third. Loss of 3, second and 13. Wilson, quarterback keeper. And wrapped up by Suero at the line of scrimmage, gain of 2, third and 11.
Suero did a nice job just playing the piano down the line of scrimmage right there. Wilson tried to cut it back. Suero in pursuit, runs right into him, drops him for little to no gain on second down. Third and about 8 here, maybe third and 10. Carroll's defense made some adjustments at the half, comes up tough against the run early.
Yeah, this bench here on Carroll's sideline is fired up. They're thinking 3 and out, get the football. So from the 24, now Wilson will look over to Coach Sampson and get the play. Milanowski in the backfield on 3rd and long. Here comes pressure straight up the middle. Wilson keeps looking and now fires for Michelotti. That was an interesting play. Michelotti just sat down and Wilson was trying to get him to go because he was covered. He eventually did, but incomplete pass now brings up 4th down.
Wilson did one of the things you try to teach young quarterbacks, just stepping up the pocket, keep your eyes downfield. Finds Michelotti, ball just a little off target right there. So Carroll College comes out, does the exact thing that they want to do. 3 and out, kick the ball to the ever-dangerous Connor Sullivan, posted up deep, waiting for it.
Kautzman standing at his 10-yard line. Sullivan back inside his 40. Saints should get great field position. Kautzman, an end-over-end kick. This will hit at the 42-yard line and go out of bounds. So the Saints got good field position to start the third quarter. Let's see if Quinn Stamps, the backup quarterback, can generate some offense here in the second half.
And that's a big adjustment for this Carroll offense. Usually it's Caden Hewitt coming out. Lots of confidence in that young man. A little change at quarterback as we haven't seen Hewitt come out of the locker room. Saw him walking in without his helmet at the end of the first half, but it's Stamps that's going to come out and run the show this half for Carroll.
First possession of the second half now for the Saints from the 43. Stamps out of the gun, straight drop, looks, now fires out there. He's got Sullivan at the 45 to the 46. Gain of 3, second and 7.
Yeah, that's exactly what you want. Build a little confidence in your quarterback, the senior. Trying to find a little rhythm here early, climb out of this hole a little bit. Got to get points again here. If you're Carroll, got to cut into this Ordigger lead.
And, of course, down their second leading receiver, Chris Akulchin, out of the game. Second down, Diggers show pressure off the edge. Here they come. Stamps fires for Lincoln Holmes, who makes a great catch. Down to the 43-yard line and in Montana Tech territory.
Holmes does such a nice job. He's one of those glue guys for the Saints right there. Climbs the ladder. This is a tough catch. You got to be a tough dude to make this catch. Climbs the ladder over the middle. New set of downs. Carroll in Digger territory.
First down. Again, they show pressure, and Minert
is going to be wrapped up and thrown down by Tel Arthur back at the 45-yard line. And boy, the Montana Tech defense absolutely read that play. And a big loss on first down.
Well, I'll tell you what, he's going to get credit for that tackle right there, but Cole Graham makes that play from his defensive end spot. See him cut inside, gets into the legs of Minner, and then Tel Arthur able to get in there and finish him off. Loss on first down brings up 2nd and 14 here.
Yeah, forward progress was at the 45, so a loss of only 3. 2nd and 13. In Tech territory early here in the 3rd. Again. And now whistle comes in. Tech signaling this is going to go.
Great delay of game, too much time.
Boy, that's tough. That's going to bring up 2nd and 18. As they lose 5 more.
There's all sorts of adjustments you have to make with a new guy at the helm right there. Backup quarterback changes the play calling just a little bit. Took a little too much time there, so Carroll was in Digger territory back at the 50-yard line now.
2nd down, ball right at midfield. Stamps has got some time, steps up, fires long across the middle, and this one is caught by Vandenaker inside the 15. What a great catch by Vandenaker.
Great ball right there.
And a good pass
by Quinn Stamps. Does a nice job just throwing that one right into the chest of Vandenaker. He's on time, bounces a little bit. Beautiful ball right into the waiting arms of Vandenaker. Great play as we join the action right here. Xavier Ford right up the middle. Nothing doing this Tech defensive line. Game for that one.
Ford met right at the line of scrimmage. Tel Arthur again comes in and makes the tackle.
Carroll not even waiting for the sticks to get set on that one. A little bit of a hurry, trying to catch that Digger defense sleeping a little bit.
Saints absolutely have to come away with points on this drive. Down 17 in the red zone again. Ball's at the 14, 2nd and 11. Stamps now fires back of the end zone, and it is caught for the touchdown.
Great acrobatic catch by the big tight end,
Carson Ochoa.
He's done a great job all year. Why not again? 82 right into your living rooms here in a second, but I'll tell you what, that guy absolutely makes huge plays for Carroll College. That's an absolutely magical play by that young man. Answering the bell for Carroll College, exactly what they needed. First drive of the second half, come away with a big touchdown, cut into this Digger lead. Who do you go to? Carson Ochoa.
Klaus on for the extra point, up and through. So a must score for the Saints, and they get it. Carson Ochoa on the touchdown. Here it is one more time.
Coming at you. I don't know, did he make the catch? Heck yeah, he did. 2 feet and everything. That's legal in every league. Carson Ochoa, 6 points. Saints coming back.
This Montana Sports Series presentation of Frontier Conference football is made possible in part by the Billings Clinic. Billings Clinic, trust and be trusted, strive for excellence, serving Montana, Wyoming, and the Dakotas. And folks, we got ourselves a ball game. The Saints at Carroll College force a 3-and-out to start the third, get the ball back, promptly go down and score. Carson Ochoa hauls in the touchdown pass from the backup Quinn Stamps, and we got us a 10-point game with 9:57 to play in the third. And Bobby, we are right above the Carroll College bench, and I mean, it is loud, and they're engaged, and they know they're back in this one.
Well, nothing like a little success to bring you out of some sort of stupor that you went through in the first half right there, as Carroll couldn't have drawn it up any better coming out of the locker room at halftime.
Another big kick, and Torgerson will bring it out. Torgerson to the 10, 15 to the 20. Torgerson still on his feet, up over the 25, and a good return. Every time Levi Torgerson touches the football, you got a chance. And that time he brings it out to the 30. And let's see what the Orediggers do now to try to reestablish the offense here against this Carroll College defense.
That was Henry Gross, met him right there at about the 20-yard line, 30-yard line rather. But I'll tell you what, Carroll College needed a little something to get reinvigorated and engaged. And I'll tell you what, Coach Troy Purcell couldn't have drawn it up any better at the half.
Now they got what they wanted and needed. Here's a first down. Wilson got Michelotti out there to the 45-yard line, and that's a catch and a first down. So Nick Michelotti, the rangy wide receiver, goes up and makes the catch and a first down to the 47.
Young man out of Helena right there. Little play action pass, wide open on the sideline, and Wilson, little simple pass and a throw and catch right there as you see him coming right out of there, fooled a lot of guys in white. As he does eventually come up with that right on the home sideline. Coach Sampson there to help pick him up as the Orediggers driving here. Ball close to midfield.
First down, Wilson, quarterback keeper all the way. Good hard running into plus territories. He goes into Saints, crossing midfield to the 49.
Rocky Shields from his defensive line position scrapes down, picks him up right there, but not before he gets first 4 yards on first down.
Charlie Kurgan checks into the Oredigger backfield, and
the fullback right there, big fullback too.
I'd love to know the story on why Keith Johnson ran the ball well in that first quarter. I've not seen it. Here's Wilson. Now got single coverage out here with Torgerson, and what a great play defensively by Elijah Larson, the senior from Sandpoint, Idaho, locked up in single coverage with Levi Torgerson and knocks it away.
Well, that ball hung in the air a long time. He had Torgerson early, but the way that ball hung in the air allowed Larson to run underneath it, get in position. He does a nice job flipping his hips right there, get back in position, and just knocks that away with the offhand. Larson showing how it's done at the corner spot, covered one of the toughest guys in the entire country in Levi Torgerson. So this Carroll defense bowling up on second down, got to come up big again here on third.
So a big 3rd and 6 now from the 49. 8:35 to play in the third. They bring Torgerson across. Wilson, that's read perfectly by Gross, but he still gets it away to Milanowski, and Milanowski has a first down. I'll tell you what, you couldn't play it any better if you're Henry Gross. He did not bite on the play fake and got right in the grill of Wilson, but somehow Jared able to get it out there and complete it for the first down.
Well, composure on both their parts, right? Henry Gross not biting on the run fake, was in good position to force the pass early for Wilson, and Wilson not panicking at all. Watch this, comes back out, reverses out. Henry Gross right in his face, delivers a catchable ball to Milanowski, and Milanowski able to get first down yardage. Now, the Orediggers are driving.
1st and 10 from the 40. Milanowski, straight ahead run to the 35. Gain of 5, 2nd and 5.
Good hard run by Milanowski. Wasn't touched until he got to that second level of the defense right there, and then just kept his feet moving. Those guys up front for Montana Tech, nice wide hole for Milanowski. He knows what to do with it after contact. Low man wins, and that young man was low enough to get another couple of yards as Brings up about 2nd and 4, possibly 2nd and 5 here.
Yeah, he's done a great job in the backfield running the football today. They dominated the Saints in that first game by running the football. Gain of 6, 2nd and 4 from the 34. Wilson in all kinds of trouble now, throws it out there, and is the catch made? My goodness.
It is.
It is. It looked like Wilson was just going to throw it away, but Parker Johnston somehow breaks to the football and makes the catch.
Well, he had Torgerson in the flats early, didn't see him. Parker Johnson sees his quarterback in trouble and just starts darting across the field, finds a little space for him. He's covered right there, falls right into it. Larson right there in good position, but Parker Johnson able to make the catch, get his hands underneath that. Another first down for this Digger offense.
First down from the 25. Digger's trying to answer the Carroll College touchdown. Here's Wilson. Out of the gun. Give to Milanowski. Cuts up inside. And a nice gain. Tripped up by Orlandi, but not before he picks up good positive yards on first down.
Lots of little holes for him to run through on that one. That offensive front finding little gaps and just staying engaged with their blocks. And then Milanowski finding a little crease and getting it north-south. He does a great job right there, showing patience, and then it'll burst through the hole as this Montana Tech offense on the ground through the air. They look unstoppable on this drive, Chris.
Gain of 4, 2nd and 6 from the 21. This has been a long, time-consuming drive. Here's Wilson, feeling pressure now back of the end zone, throws it away, incomplete. Great pressure applied that time by Marcus Evans, the junior linebacker, coming to Carroll via the University of Montana, and really put the pressure on.
And Evans does a nice job just getting in the face, forcing that one out just a little bit early.
So another big third down play here. They need 6, ball's at the 21. They need to get to the 15 for a first down. Torgerson into the backfield, takes the deep pitch. Now he's going to throw back to a wide open Jared Wilson to the 5, touchdown Montana Tech. Wow, you can't draw it up any better than that. We've seen it before, and we just saw it again.
You forget that the guy's left-handed, right? So they toss it to him. He's had one throwing the ball just now. He's had one receiving, and he had another one rushing. So Levi Torgerson showing that you've got to know where he's at, and then you can't lose track of anybody else because there's no telling what he's going to do with the ball in his hands. Tech, touchdown. Wilson this time receiving it from Levi Torgerson.
What a backbreaker for the Saints as they had just gotten on the board. Extra point is up and good. 5:37 to play in the third. Montana Tech scores its first touchdown of the second half. They lead 24-7 here in Butte.
Levi Torgerson to Jarrett Wilson. And, boy, there was absolutely nobody there. They drew it up exactly right. Comes with 5:37 to play here in the third. Tech looking to improve to 12-0 and advance on to the quarterfinals of the NAIA playoffs again. One of 8 games being played across the country today in the NAIA. Winner of this one advancing on next week. Tech would love to have another couple of home games. It's possible with that seeding of being number 3.
Absolutely.
At least next week if they hang on and win this game.
Well, you never know how it's going to go in the NAIA. I mean, and Butte's a tough place to get to and a tough place to play once you get here.
Connor Sullivan at the goal line to the 15. So, he almost lost the ball to the 30, to the 35-40. Out of bounds at the 46-yard line. Connor Sullivan giving Carroll College excellent field position on a terrific run back.
Driven out of bounds there by Justin Weber, but not before the ever dangerous, and he really has grown into that role as a special teams ace, getting a lot more play time today with the injury to Chris Akulchin, the explosive receiver. But Connor Sullivan, no say die in that young man, as he's made a name for himself in the special teams game. Frontier Conference postseason award winner. I think he was second team in the West as a returner. Showing he's very dangerous in the kicking game for Carroll.
So here we go. First down from the 46. Stamps, deep drop, and now fires out here for Wilkinson, the tight end. Incomplete pass. Good coverage by Damon Burns. Second down. As we mentioned, Montana Tech, Bobby, with a bye in the first round last week. Carroll College survived a very, very exciting game up in Helena last week as they took down St. Thomas out of Miami Gardens, Florida, 42-35, and that one went down to the final minute.
Well, that one looked like they were going to run away with it early, and
they did.
St. Thomas came back at the end of the half and made a great game of it. Ford gets this one out on the edge.
Yeah, Ford does get to the corner and then hammered out of bounds at midfield. Good job
right there.
Trying to get to the edge, and Anthony Oakes made initial contact with him, so a short gain will bring up third down.
Tyler Kovic there to finish it off.
So they'll mark it just inside Montana Tech territory. It will be 3rd and 5. Under 5 to play in the third. So every play now becomes a big one. And you just wonder, Bobby, if the Saints, anytime they're near midfield, if it's 4-down territory.
It's getting to that point in the game, Chris. Tough decisions are going to have to be made. Coach Purcell not happy with this timeout.
Yeah, and you don't want to. When you're down 24-7, you certainly don't want to use your timeouts. But they're forced to take one there, as they will talk it over. Looking at a 3rd and 5 when we come back. Saints trail 24-7.
Today's Frontier Conference football matchup is brought to you in part by the Frontier Conference. The Frontier Conference, where champions are born. Well, at halftime, Bobby, the fans broke for the tailgate section. They had the barbecues fired up. The smell of the barbecue was wafting right up to us.
I know, it's tough. Yeah, I mean, and talk about tempting. We had Pork Chop John's as a food sponsor.
Yeah.
You got people firing up grills in like 20-degree weather. I don't know what the wind chill is, but I can see my breath.
Okay, so here we go, 3rd and 5 from the 49. They bring Sullivan across. Stamps looks that way and now gets pressured, hit, and incomplete. No, a flag comes in at the end of the play. That was a great job by... Well, we're going to wait and sort out the flag.
Like Dom Umile came in there and got a hold of the face mask of Quinn Stamps on his way by. That's what
you're exactly right. Yeah, exactly right.
But Dom Umile, he did a great job defeating the block at the point of attack. Had a free run right there, and Stamps just sidestepped him. That arm just went out, and you'll see it right here. You'll just see the head snap just for a second as he went running by. Head ducks down, flag comes out, ball's incomplete, but Carroll benefits on that one. 15 yards, new set of downs as they inch closer to the goal line now in Ore-Digger territory.
Yep, down to the 34 after the penalty by Umile. So here we go, first down, 4.5 to play, third quarter. Stamps has gone all the way here in the second half in relief of Caden Hewitt. Here comes pressure intended for Xavier Ford. Ford is shoved out of bounds, and that's the second time today that Ford really should have come down with it. Tyler Kovic was there in coverage, but Ford really should have come up with that.
Yeah, he's just off balance. Ball hits him in the hands, falls incomplete, stops the clock. But you're exactly right, Chris. That's one of those balls you wish you had back, because now you got 2nd and 10.
Second down for the Saints. Stamps got plenty of time going for the back of the end zone, and this one up and touchdown, and somehow Lincoln Holmes was able to bring that down, and don't ask me how he caught that.
This one's coming back.
And there is a flag on the play.
Yeah, Cole Graham right there from his end position comes upfield. He's getting held right there on the right side of the Carroll offensive line. This one's coming back. All for naught if you're a Carroll College Saint here.
What a catch by Lincoln Holmes. And it goes all for naught. That would have been a huge touchdown.
And Lincoln Holmes again.
Oh, man.
All that dude does is go up and catch balls. He's a great player. We don't talk about him enough, but he's one of those guys, they try to find ways to get him the ball, and right there he shows you why.
Chase Thompson could not have played it any better. So 2nd and 20 now from the 44. And the Diggers showing pressure up the middle. Here they come. Stamps rolls out of it, fires into the flat. Holmes tries to climb the ladder and catch it. Incomplete, and now 3rd and 20. So Diggers brought some pressure. Stamps did a good job to roll out of it, but the ball thrown just a little too high.
Yeah, that one, it's tough sometimes when you're rolling to the right. You're trying to put a little heat on it. Ball tends to climb on you, going to your arm side. Right there, Quinn Stamps not able to get a catchable ball. We got a big 3rd down here for Carroll. Now I'm having to check the down markers because of our earlier faux pas. I have to double and triple check, looking on the field, looking on the scoreboard, checking my marks here.
3rd and 20 from the 44. Now the Diggers back off. They drop in coverage. Stamps steps up into the pocket, and he is going to be tripped up and eventually, still on his feet.
Just finding a way, right? Finding a way. 3rd and forever right there. Multiple Ore-Diggers have a chance, but Stamps never stay die. Gets it to 4th down here. Decision time for Coach Purcell as you watch him here. There's a guy in the backfield. He's got him there. Makes a guy miss right there. Trips, falls. Guy runs by him. Stiff arms another guy. Out of the reach of that guy. Finally, Burns able to bring him down, but not before he brings Brings up 4th and about 6 here.
Yeah, and it's manageable, 4th and 6.
Funny you say that. There's no other place you'd want to have 4th and 6, but it looks a heck of a lot better than 3rd and 25 as Kyle Sampson is going to take one of his timeouts and talk this one over. He sees his Ordigger defense a little bit winded after the extra effort by Stamps on that one.
Well, there's so much on the line in this game. Season is over for the loser of this one, and so every play becomes magnified and gets bigger, and we've seen these coaches already use a couple of timeouts in big situations, and right now at 4th and 6, Saints absolutely have to convert. Ordiggers need a stop to maintain this 24-7 lead with 3:26 to play. Take a look at the Montana Tech Ordigger coaching staff led by Kyle Sampson.
Doug Schlieman's been there forever. Montel Allen has stepped in as a defensive coordinator role. This staff's been together now, same staff for 2 consecutive years, and that kind of consistency's really paid off in the way that they've played this year. 11-0, Chris. 11-0, first time in the history of the program. And then on the other sideline, Coach Troy Purcell in his 7th season, Montana guy, just an absolute legend in the high school ranks. Purcell's done a nice job keeping his staff together, and that consistency's led to Carroll College finding its way into the playoffs. Pretty resilient team. Doing it now with their backup quarterback under center.
And here we go. Crowd is into it. 4th and 6. Making some noise here in Butte. Here we go. From the 30. Stamps. Looks. And is going to be... Stays on his feet and has got the first down.
Wow, what a great play by that young man. Lots of protection. Great job up front. Great coverage downfield. Stamps decides to pull it down, not known as the athlete that Hewitt is. Who cares? It's playoff football. Guy pulls it down, still looking downfield, keeps his eyes downfield. Right here, same foot, same shoulder. Drive through it right there. Drives through the tackle. Tell Arthur.
Back to the end zone for Ochoa. Touchdown, Carroll College. Carson Ochoa from 23 yards out, and the Saints are still alive.
And Stamps, the competitor, comes out right there, steps up in the pocket, finds Ochoa, the security blanket for every Carroll College quarterback last year, the year before that, this year for Caden Hewitt. Carson Ochoa, that type of investment's paid dividends for Carroll as they're short of the offensive lineman now for the PAT. They're looking for an O-lineman.
Yeah, they're going to have to hurry.
Outruns Denavian Ali. No, they don't have to hurry. They got 12 seconds. They're fine. Denavian Ali steps in.
Big extra point here. Kick is on its way and
doinks it in.
And that's a 10-point game now. 2:49 to play here in the third, 24-14. And when you need a big play, when you've got to have something happen, who do you go to on offense? Carson Ochoa.
Carson Ochoa has done it so many times. Why not one more right there? Goes up, makes a grab over 2 Tech defenders right there, and has a little something to say for the folks down there in the beer garden. Probably like, do you have a hand warmer?
Well, I tell you that the fight in this Carroll team, as their nickname is, the Fighting Saints, they just no quit in this bunch. They come out and score, and then Montana Tech kind of really popped the balloon as they went down and scored a touchdown to make it 24-7. But here we go as Carroll College answers right back, and they're within 10, 24-14, and still a mountain of time left in this one.
How about Quinn Stamps on that drive, finding a way to extend it, scrambles for the first down, but the play before that really indicative of the type of competitor he is. It's 4th and a bus ride. That guy pulls it down, breaks 3 or 4 tackles, delivers a parting shot to the defender for Montana Tech, finds a way to extend that drive, get it on 4th and 6, and then finds Ochoa in the end zone. Quinn Stamps coming of age before our eyes here in the playoffs.
Well, he has had a tremendous second half in relief of Caden Hewitt.
Say coming of age, you don't say that very often about a senior.
Right, boy. Oh, we got a little onside kick coming. Did it go 10 yards?
It finally did.
Yeah,
it finally did.
Carroll says they have it, and nobody touched it. And indeed that does. It just made the 10-yard. I thought it was never going to get there.
We watched Pat McAfee do that so many years ago for the Indianapolis Colts. He just dribbles one down there. This one took forever. I just kept standing right here. You get a little bit puckered watching a kicker down there waiting for that putt to roll down there as he just kind of dribbles one down. Dink, 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 dink. Go 10, go 10, go 10. What are you watching, guys in orange? What are you watching? And yet the kicker just falls on it as soon as it goes, maybe 9 3/4 yards. A little Harry Potter reference there for you kids out there reading those books. Keep reading them. They're awesome.
Well, look at the spot of the football. It had to go to the 45, and it's right on the 45.
He might have helped it there at the end too, Chris. I'm not going to lie.
So here we go. Carroll. And now Stamps loses it, picks it up, fires into the flat, and completes it to Wilkinson. And Wilkinson, let's see where they mark him out of bounds. Oh,
it's about 3.
Yeah, I got 3 on it.
That's okay. After you drop a snap, everything goes haywire. Wilkinson sitting right there. Stamps knowing where to go with the football. Just pitches it out to his buddy.
And keep in mind, Carroll is doing this without Caden Hewitt, their starting quarterback.
Just pitches it right out there. Wilkinson does step out of bounds, but nice safety blanket. Those tight ends are so important to a quarterback.
Here comes pressure.
Minert.
Minert runs right through it. Minert to the 30, finally taken down to the 28-yard line. And Minert, who has been quiet all day long, blasts through for a big gainer. Chase Thompson finally pulls him down, but not before he picks up a big first down.
Nobody touches him. Watch the size of this hole. He runs through it. Nobody gets a hand on him. He's got a clean jersey. And luckily for the Orediggers, Jace Thompson, they're able to bring him down. But Carroll driving again deep in Montana Tech territory.
First down from the 28. Minert to Holmes. Back to Stamps. Now into the end zone for Ochoa, who makes another sensational catch.
So much action on that. They let him play a little bit in the offensive backfield. We got a dancing offensive lineman right now. Ochoa catches another touchdown. Oh my goodness, there was so much going on that play. Little fake reverse. They had a Tech defender in Stamps' face. Didn't know where he was. It was a wrestling match in the backfield, and everybody finally realized that Ochoa had the ball in the end zone.
What a crazy play. Got it to Lincoln Holmes.
That was awesome.
Stamps, yeah, and Stamps has the hot hand.
Hey, Chris, we got a game.
Yes, we do. The extra point is up. It is good. 1:37 to play here in the third quarter. And all of a sudden, just like that, the Saints have fought back and trailed by just 3, 24-21.
Watch this. Minert to Holmes. Holmes wrestling in the backfield. Stamps throws it downfield. Ochoa battling the sun, the elements, the weather. Says hello to his buddies in the beer garden. 6-point Saints. There was so much going on that one.
Well, Carson Ochoa, one of the great tight ends in this league, and great players come up with great plays when they have to, and Carson Ochoa has been sensational here in the second half.
Hey, kudos to the officials on that one, letting them play a little bit.
And it all started with the onside kick that just barely went 10 yards.
9 3/4.
Yeah, and they got it.
And I'll tell you what, these Carroll College Saints fans have kind of been silent all year. Or all day, rather. It feels like a year. It's chilly up here, Chris. But they've suddenly awoken from their cold-induced slumber. Prayers have been answered here in Butte, if you're a Saints fan, as they battled back to make this one rather interesting. A minute 37 to go here in the third. Diggers up 24. Carroll College making a comeback, 21.
Still anyone's game. High kick come down to Torgerson, who will take it at the 5. Torgerson to the 20, and he is walloped at the 20-yard line. And again, that's just a great special teams play, and firing in is Gage Norsline. And Norsline stops Torgerson short of the 20.
And Norsline, the Fergus County Eagle right there, able to do that. Guys won a couple of state championships in basketball and in football, choosing to play football at Carroll College. Guy makes a huge special teams tackle on somebody that's tough to tackle. But Norsley making his presence felt on special teams today.
So first down now, Montana Tech a little bit shell-shocked here as this momentum has definitely shifted. Malinowski stays on his feet. Up over the 20 to the 23, so gain of 3, 2nd and 7.
A lot of action up front. They just pulled that counter. Milanowski trying to find a seam right there, but that pursuit of Carroll College has been there all day. Stops them for a gain of 3. Carroll College not in any hurry right here.
Tech won the first meeting in Helen, as we mentioned, 30-19 back on September 6th. Wykees Johnson ran for 178 yards in that game, and we have not seen him
since the first quarter.
So gain of 4, 2nd and 6. Here's Wilson, little screen pass, nice play, and a big gainer.
That's
to the
Derek
35,
Pierce, their tight end.
And that's the first catch we've seen of Derek Pierce all afternoon.
Guy's been doing it up front, blocking all day long for various Orediggers right there. Little tight end screen right here underneath, comes inside, releases, there's nobody there, and Pierce gets a first down for the Orediggers as they're going to let this one tick down. And let us get to the fourth quarter here in Butte.
They can let this go to the fourth, which they will. But what a third quarter we have had. It was 17-0 at the break. And Carroll has outscored Tech 21-7 here in the third quarter. So here we go. Buckle in, folks. This has been a great one in the second round of the NAIA playoffs. 15 minutes of football remain here in Butte. Montana Tech with the ball from the 36, leading by 3 here in Butte. (24-21), and this is how Carroll College got back into it, Bobby.
Well, they got a double dose of Carson Ochoa, double barrel Ochoa right there. He catches the first one, says hello to his buddies in the beer garden. Little 9 3/4 yard onside kick right here, courtesy of Pat McAfee. Shout out to that dude. He did a great job today. And then Carson Ochoa coming back again, the deep ball. Reach up, reach, pluck, end zone. Ochoa again. Carroll. Fighting Saints, fighting it away in this one. Here in Butte, 24-21. Here we go. Start of the fourth quarter. Let's go.
Montana Tech first down from the 36. They give to Torgerson, who gets the corner. And Torgerson up over the 40, close to the 45.
Welcome to the sideline by Braden Orlandi.
Yeah, that's going to be a yard short of the first down. But again, this is exactly what you do. You go to your best players.
In clutch times, absolutely you do. You don't trust anybody with that ball. I mean, you're going to give the ball to Milanowski. Little play action with Wilson. We're probably going to see some +1 runs with him.
So Milanowski comes in on 2nd and 2 from the 44. Wilson
out of the gun on 2nd and 2, quarterback keeper. And he is met behind the line of scrimmage but falls forward. That's enough to move the chains. First down.
Not a big dude, but he kept his feet moving through contact. Enough momentum coming downhill on that one.
He was hit at the 45, but fell forward to the 47, so first down.
And that sun starts to set, gets a little bit cooler up here in our perch.
You're being kind when you
Probably
say a little
have
cooler.
To snuggle here in a bit just to keep us from shivering on air.
Your water bottle's frozen, by the way.
Definitely.
First down from the 47. Just underway here in the fourth quarter. Wilson looks right, rolls left. Now throws to a wide open Torgerson at the 40. Torgerson at the 35, down to the 32-yard line, and inside the 30 to the 28, and a first down for Montana Tech.
What's uncanny to me is how the great players don't have the same problems as everybody else with their footing. And Levi Torgerson, watch this. The guy covering him falls a second time. Levi Torgerson still on his feet. Everybody else is looking in the ground trying to figure out what's going on. Levi Torgerson, the sure-footed Levi Torgerson on that play, able to duck, dodge, and dive.
There you go.
Those are the things you have to do in dodgeball and on cold days playing football on fake grass, Chris.
First and 10 from the 28 on the catch by Torgerson. Wilson looks to the right, nothing there. Now gets pressured and taken down at the 35-yard line. So a great job defensively again by Carroll College. They applied the pressure. Gunnar Gleesman getting in the backfield.
Gunnar Gleesman, Danavian Ali in there supplying the pressure for the Carroll College defensive front. Good push right there. So a little give and take on this drive as Montana Tech finding a way to move the chains, but Carroll College still out of fight left in the Fighting Saints.
Danavian Ali, 10.5 tackles for loss, 7 sacks. That's team best for the Saints in on that stop along with Gleesman. So it's a loss of 5, 2nd and 15 from the 33. Tech trying to answer a couple of touchdowns. Here's Wilson. Steps up into pressure and taken down
Ali again.
Danavian Ali again, and there's a flag at the 40-yard line.
Yeah, I think they're going to get a hold on the offensive front right there.
Well, keep in mind that Tech had 2 players on that offensive line that went out in the first half.
And they're just trying to find a way to protect right there. And Wilson unable to escape the grasp of Danavian Ali, and Gunnar Gleason, who's had a huge impact. We haven't called his name much until today. They're going to decline this one. Bring up third and about 16, 17 yards here.
Well, this, Carroll College always travels well, and they've got a great section of fans over there, straight across from us.
Carroll College only 55 miles away from right here in Butte, America. Both squads have kids from Butte and from Helena on both sidelines. Lots at stake here today.
2nd and 15 from the 33, Wilson. And he's going to be wrapped up and taken down for another loss as Marcus Evans again drops Wilson, and all of a sudden the Montana Tech offense is going backwards.
And Carroll College developed a lot of depth over the course of the season. The success that they've had has allowed their young players to get meaningful snaps, and it's paying off today as we've called some new names for the guys in the purple helmets as the young guns finding a way to have an impact today, especially late here in the fourth quarter as Carroll College clawing their way back into this one, stops this Ordigger drive.
And the Saints' red-hot offense is going to get the football back with a chance to take the lead, still with 11 minutes to play here in the fourth quarter. And they're going to angle this kick. It's going to hit at the 5-yard line and down at the 1. Wow, you can't draw it up any better than that. A tremendous kick, and
I believe that's Kautzman's first punt of the day, and he executes it to perfection.
10:53 to play in the fourth. Saints with the football when we come back. All right, so first down, nets 2 for the Saints, 2nd and 8. And boy, Tech with that tremendous punt.
Kautzman just dropped that one on a dime.
And a great job by
Justin Weber
to stand underneath it. And if they can get a 3-and-out here, Bobby,
set themselves up.
They sure can with Torgerson back there. This is huge. Stamps is in the end zone. They have got to get out of there and get a first down. Stamps will keep it. And the big fella rumbles up over the 5, close to the 10-yard line. And we mentioned Stamps has got size, 6'4", 225, and he needed all of it there. So that's going to set up a very manageable 3rd and short.
Just right backed up against that beer garden. He's not hearing too many friendly comments back there. It's hard to tell what side they're on. I'm going to guess a lot of those are Tech fans, but they're all dressed in Carhartt.
Okay, so 3rd and 2 now from the 9. Huge play here for both teams. Saints need a first down to keep the drive alive. Montana Tech trying to force a 3-and-out and get the football back. 9.5 to go here in the fourth. Stamps looks left. Now gets pressured, loses the football. Ball's out and recovered by Montana Tech in the end zone. Anthony Oakes falls on it, and the man that applied the pressure was number 19, Tyler Kovic. Wow, what a huge play. What a huge turn of events.
Kovic, great power rush. Was right on him right there. Great bone-jarring hit in this ice-cold weather as the temperature continues to drop. Ball's on the ground. Huge change in momentum right there in front of the beer garden here at Montana Tech.
Man, that was huge. All set up by that punt that went inside the 5-yard line. And now on for the extra point is Kautzman. What a blow to this Carroll College comeback now as Montana Tech will try to extend this to a 10-point game. Kautzman's kick is up, and it is good. So with 9:16 to play in the fourth quarter, it's back up to a 10-point lead, and all that momentum that Montana Tech needed to get back, they got it back on one play, and here it is.
See Oakes right there, power rushing right there, but Kovic coming free right there, right in his breadbasket. Looks like Oakes landed on it first. Ball's jumping around out there. Able to finally come up with it. I think it was Dom Umile right there. But Kovac right in the kisser.
I think it was Trey Yates that eventually fell on it because we thought Oakes had it right there.
And you're right, it was Trey Yates.
Trey Yates came flying in at the end of the play. Yates, the 290-pound junior out of Colstrip, Montana.
Yeah, the Yates family.
It's a big boys.
They make D linemen out of Colstrip in that family, and they are good football players.
So a big, costly turnover. Not really much Stamps could do. He was absolutely blindsided by Kovic.
He was just sitting. He was a sitting duck right there as the protection moved away, allowed the free runner. And I'll tell you what, that Tech defensive line was getting absolutely in the Carroll College backfield. Just free runners everywhere, and it ends up as a Tech touchdown. So defense gets in on the scoring festivities here in Butte. Got a little tight there for a minute, and the Diggers now put a little space between them and the Saints.
And this ball will go into the back of the end zone. And so now Carroll now trailing by 10.
As layers are starting to be put on here on the Torgerson lift. On the west side of the field.
So here we go. The Saints now needing an answer with 9:16. Down 10, 2 timeouts remaining. But they have shown that they can move the football effectively against this Montana Tech defense.
Got to protect first, though. as the backup quarterbacks come in and played really, really well here in the second half.
And they'll start this drive on the ground with Xavier Brown, and Brown pops it out to the 31-yard line, gain of 6, 2nd and 4.
Ford did a nice job there just following his block up into the second level. Carroll has found some space running the ball, as Ford's been in there for a lot of it today. Him and Minard been splitting time, but Ford's been doing a pretty good job getting little chunks of yards. We saw Minard with the big chunk play earlier in the half.
Umale checks back in on 2nd and 4. Stamps will operate out of the gun, looks right, throws that way. Vandenaker with the catch, driven out of bounds, but a first down.
Little timing pass pattern right there.
Christian Hansen pushes him out of bounds, but the gain is up to the 38-yard line.
All time.
And a first down.
Move the sticks if you're Carroll College. Find some momentum. Get out of the shadow of your end zone. Try to regain some of that momentum you had in that third quarter.
So a first down from the 38. Saints need to move quickly. And they'll stay on the ground. A Ford! Ford squirts through. Hansen runs him out of bounds. Gain up to the 47-yard line. Gain of 9, 2nd and 1.
Xavier Ford just a little off tackle play right there. Good gain on first down. Good first down run play right there. Anytime those running backs are in the secondary being taken down by a corner, you like those matchups if you're an offensive coordinator. Good job up front by Carroll early in this drive.
From the 48, Stamps to Vandenaker, and in and out of the hands. They're going to pick on Hansen again, and that time Vandenaker couldn't come down with it. Incomplete pass brings up 2nd and 10. Good job by the Carroll College offensive line, too, in the second half. Not only allowing the Saints to run the football better, but giving Stamps time to throw the ball.
Yeah, the protection was there that time. Would have liked to seen it there down by the goal line a couple minutes ago, but you're right. You know, when they've provided him protection, Stamps has shown he's pretty capable. That one got away from him a little bit. He was waiting on the receiver to break on his route.
Second down, here comes pressure. Ford breaks out of a tackle, still on his feet, and Ford to the 30, to the 25, and finally tripped up, or that's a touchdown. Saving the touchdown was Tyler Kovic, who trips him up at the 22.
Kovic comes up with a big play right there, as it looked like Ford was off to the races, but Kovic, the young man who had the sack in the end zone just minutes ago, able to chase Ford down as he makes one jump cut and then one north-south cut, and then he's off to the races. Kovic puts on a little bit of a burst, able to make the shoestring tackle, as it looked like Tech had too many men on the field, had to burn a timeout. Trying to get Anthony Oakes off the field on that one.
So Tech will use their second timeout, and we'll step aside. 7:04 to play here in the fourth quarter. Ball at the 22. Carroll College with a first down when we come back.
Hey folks, weather got you down. Too much holiday turkey? Well, stay home. Watch us on the SWX app. Take the SWX with you wherever you go. Download the app and get the latest sports delivered to you on your phone. Get the app from the Apple Store or Google Play. You can listen to Chris and I call football from the warmth of a nice fire. You don't have to enjoy football live outdoors in December. Watch us on the SWX app.
First down from the 22. Stamps throws for the back of the end zone for Ochoa. Incomplete pass. And Stamps takes a pretty good shot after he lets it go. But that time, great coverage by that Tech secondary. They had Ochoa doubled up in the back of the end zone.
Damon Burns has done a nice job in this Tech secondary today, making tackles downfield. That time, he had the over-the-top coverage on Ochoa. No place for that one to go as you had Anthony Oakes and Tel Arthur in the backfield, forcing Stamps to get rid of that one a little early.
So 2nd and 10 from the 22. They've had great success running forward. Let's see what they do here. And he does get the ball right side. Kovic chasing, still on his feet. And that's going to be a first down at the 10-yard line. So they found something, Bobby, on the right side of that offensive line with Ford running behind it. And they have broken off some big chunk plays with his running.
Well, Gavin Vandenaker's doing a great job downfield, but right at the point of attack, you're exactly right, in the B gap right there. You can see Charson Ochoa looking for somebody, hunting somebody up downfield. And Xavier Ford has the vision with that off-tackle play. They've run that a couple of times, and they found a little something in the run game as Tech's running another player off the field here late.
1st and goal from the 9. Stamps looks for Vandenaker, incomplete. Vandenaker broke off his route and then tried to cut it inside, and the incomplete pass will bring up 2nd down. Again, good coverage by Montana Tech, or they had a Montana Tech secondary.
Yeah, that one there, I thought he had Lincoln Holmes in the back corner on the other side of the end zone. That's a guy right there. This is Lincoln Holmes territory. That guy with the absence of Chris Akolchin and a couple of the players that we talked about earlier, Caden Hewitt, not in there right now, and Quentin Stamps able to fill in absolutely great today here in the second half for Carroll College. Got to find a score here, though, if Carroll College is going to keep this one close.
All right, so 2nd and goal from the 9. Stamps. End zone, he's got Sullivan, and Sullivan stays on his feet and brought down inside the 5 to the 4-yard line.
Tyler Kovic has strong hands. That man has strong hands, able to keep Sullivan out of the end zone. Good protection that time as Tech brings a blitz. They pick it up nicely here this time as he just steps up in the pocket. Sullivan makes the catch right there. Good football players. 2 young men wrestling to the ground. Kovic put Stamps down in the other end zone, keeps Connor Sullivan out of this one.
So 3rd and goal now from the 3. Stamps, here comes pressure off the corner. Stamps will keep it, and he is tripped up and taken down.
Who makes that play, Chris? Tyler Kovic.
Tyler Kovic, yeah.
Just slips in underneath, comes in hot, slips underneath the would-be offensive tackle right there, able to get enough hand on the leg of Stamps to bring him down.
Well, decision time now. You can kick the field goal and get within a touchdown, one possession, or you just go ahead and roll the dice here, and they are going to go.
A little bit of confusion. Clock's ticking under 15 seconds on the play clock. Lots of noise here as the Ordigger fans are letting them know where they're at.
Here's Stamps out of the gun on 4th down. Stamps rolls right, looking. Incomplete.
Trying to get Sullivan in the back of the end zone right there.
And the entire backfield of Montana Tech's defense was rolling that way.
Yeah, there was a lot of orange jerseys in that corner, Chris. You're exactly right. Didn't fool anybody on the play action. Stamps running out of room on the sidelines. We're back across his body, just behind Connor Sullivan, who's trying to get in front of his quarterback. Just out of the outstretched arms of Connor Sullivan. So another drive that Carroll College gets deep into Tech territory and comes away empty. They've done that a few times today. That bend, don't break attitude from Tech pays off again here as Tech able to escape unscathed after a great-looking Carroll College drive.
That was huge. So Montana Tech with the football and the 10-point lead, and now just trying to get a little bit of running room here.
A little room to move.
Hand the ball up front to Milanowski. Grind that clock out. Still a two-score game. Clock ticks under 5.
Carroll College still has 2 timeouts remaining plus the 2-minute timeout, so they can stop the clock 3 times. But for the Diggers right now, job one, get out of the shadow of their own end zone and pick up a first down. So gain of 1, 2nd and 9. Let's see if the Saints defense can dial something up here and force the Diggers to kick this one away.
And Tech perfectly satisfied taking that play clock into single digits. Mother Nature's doing the same thing with the temperature.
And now a whistle.
A little movement up front that time.
That's going to back them up to the 2. Okay, delay a game.
Wow, that one. I honestly thought they got that one off. I was watching the play clock.
So that'll bring up 2nd and 11 from the 2. Saints, as you mentioned, still with a chance here. If they can get the football back, they'd have great field position. Couple of timeouts to work with. And we all know what they can do on the onside kick.
They've got that in their bag of tricks, right?
They got that going for them. 2nd and 11, under 4 to play.
Carroll still got the 2-minute timeout and a couple of timeouts.
Oh, Milanowski squirts through for a moment. And now the scrum, you got the rugby scrum going on. You got a player down.
Another offensive lineman for Tech, slow getting up.
And that's the same lineman that went out. That's the same player, Bobby, that went out in the first half. That's Jacob Graves. He went down in the first half, came back, and now he's going to be helped off again. But a good job by Milanowski to push the pile forward.
Just kept his legs running.
Yeah, to the 8-yard line, and it gives him a little room here.
Allowed that offensive line to regain their composure and get behind him a little bit. They got the old tush push that's ever famous these days. Right there, I like the rugby scrum reference. That's an accurate description, Chris.
Do you maybe try a little play action here, or do you just run the ball and try to pick up the first down?
I think Kyle Sampson does a great job with motions and shifts. I like the +1 running game with Jarrett Wilson, showing the run with the running back, and then keeping it in his hands. That +1 running game into the short side of the field with a little motion for the defense. As Tech's going to talk over what they're going to do, take their last time out of the half.
Yeah, they let the play clock, they let the clock run down as far as they could. So the game clock is at 3:20, and that is the last timeout for Montana Tech. And they're looking at a 3rd and 5, but a chance for Coach Sampson to talk about what he wants to do here. And he's got options, Bobby. He's got Torgerson at any point on the field. Milanowski's run the ball well. Or they can keep it in Wilson's capable hands and let him run.
This does a couple of things too, Chris, because it's getting pretty frigid. We put on a couple of layers sitting up here in our perch, and allowing that defense to get a little bit colder and then dictating your terms in the run game. Keep that ball in bounds, let that clock tick away, force the Saints to make a decision with their timeouts, and they take the timeout, force you to punt it. There's a little bit of strategy in play right here late in this one. It's not out of reach yet. The Carroll College Saints fought their way back into this, have a little life left, but they got to get a stop here. Force Tech to punt, and I guarantee you it won't be through the air here. Want to keep that clock moving.
So here we go on 3rd down. They need 5.
I said guarantee, and they line up in a pass formation.
Yeah, this could be a quarterback draw. We'll see. So Wilson in the end zone, fires across. He's got Michelotti. Michelotti to the 20, to the 25, to the 30. Michelotti out of bounds and a first down for Montana Tech, and a huge, huge first down for the Diggers as Nick Michelotti brings it in.
That little underneath crosser is so sneaky at the right time. Coach Sampson dials this one up, and Michelotti makes a big play right there. Young man out of Helena, Montana, makes a huge grab, gets him out from the shadow of their end zone. Right there, as you see him just looking, dropping back, creating some time and some space for Michelotti to get open, delivers a strike, and now it's just chase. And Michelotti ends up with that one on the sideline, and another set of downs for the Diggers.
And now it might be time to hand the ball to number 22 right now.
Absolutely, you're going to get a steady dose of Milanowski.
And boy, they got everybody up on the line. Milanowski's got nowhere to go. Keeps those feet driving, picks up a couple. And now the Saints are going to use their timeouts.
That was such a big third down play by Kyle Sampson. 3rd and 5, just right in the shadow of your own end zone right there. Throw the underneath to Michelotti.
You know, and they had everybody up on the line of scrimmage. I mean, if you wanted to be really dicey and do a little play action and dump something over the middle, that'd be 6 points because there was nobody back there.
No, right now, I think if you're Carroll College,
selling out,
trying to, number one, stop the run, get to the 2-minute timeout, force them to punt. But if you're Montana Tech, you probably have one more waist down here where you could probably dial something up. But the most important thing right now is get out of here with a win as we watch the crowd starting to thin out. They're going to the tailgate spot now, Chris. They're hopefully watching us right there in the comfort of their SUVs or on the comfort of a nice warm vehicle.
They'll do if we can, Bobby, and you've been kind of on this today, if we get maybe one more check on that College of Idaho game, we might have a better idea of what's going to happen at the conclusion of this game for Montana Tech or Carroll, depending on who wins.
Well, with 8 seconds left in the fourth quarter, we've got College of Idaho up 37-19. So College of Idaho moves on in Caldwell to the next round, to the third round of the playoffs of the NAIA postseason. Montana Tech trying to join them. Got another 2:30 left here in Butte.
Saints with one more timeout. Wilson pops through, and Wilson has a first down gain.
That's another set of downs.
Yeah, that is a backbreaker right there.
That's what they needed up front. Good push up front in the +1 run game.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that play, especially when you need to have it. Put it in the arms. The offensive player of the year right there. Jarrett Wilson. Watched him grow up in this offense this season, and Kyle Sampson dials one up at the right time. Need to have it, gotta have it. Give it to your quarterback.
And Wilson more than capable of running the football. 381 yards coming in, running the football, and between Wilson, Milanowski, and Wykees Johnson, that's about 1,400 yards of rushing offense, and that's really been the bread and butter of this Montana Tech team, although they do a lot of things well. That's the final timeout for the Saints, 2:20 left on the clock, so the 2-minute timeout will stop at one more time. So even if the Saints were able to force a 3-and-out, when they get the football back, there'd virtually be no time left to rally from 10 down.
Well, they can come back and make it close.
Yeah.
The question is are they going to be able to pull off another onside kick?
Well, and this is the one area, remember, they got down there and opted to not kick the field goal.
Yeah, absolutely.
Had they taken the 3, and I'm not second-guessing, but being down 7, you still got a shot.
Absolutely.
Okay, so 2:20 to play here. Wilson protecting the football, and
now
Orlandi,
just get down.
Yeah.
Just get down.
Orlandi trying to scrape the ball away, and that will take us down to the 2-minute timeout. Ordigger's 2 minutes away from advancing to the quarterfinals of the NAIA National Football Playoffs, and we are indeed at that point. So 2 minutes left in this one. What a great I-15 rivalry in the postseason of the NAIA. Stick around. We got 2 minutes to go in this one. Ordigger's with the ball, leading by 10. Montana Tech 2 minutes away from advancing on to the quarterfinals. Well, let's play some speculation here in the playoffs. We don't know where teams are going, but one scenario we thought was possible if the College of Idaho wins and if Tech hangs on, that possibly the College of Idaho would head to Butte next week. That's one scenario.
Well, I'm 0 for 1 on bets today, but I don't think I'm going 0 for 2 saying that the Yotes will be here next week.
Well, they're just hammering at the football, but Wilson does a nice job.
Ball did come out of there at the end, but they'd blown it dead. And the clock continues to tick as the play clock gets to 30.
Now it's 2nd and 11, now 3rd and 10 rather, and so they'll snap the ball with about 1:10 to go, and then on 4th down they can run it down close to the 25-yard line. So
run it down, take the penalty,
yep.
Run it away.
Yep. And they do let that play clock. Do they get it away? They do not.
No. See, that's the one thing you can't do.
Yeah.
Because now the clock doesn't start.
So that'll buy the Saints with a little time, but again, I've seen crazier things. The game last week in Helena was wild. We saw 2 touchdowns scored in 11 seconds, Bobby, in that game. St. Thomas scored. Yeah, St. Thomas scored with 11 seconds to go, kicked it away. Connor Sullivan ran it back to the 35-yard line. Then they threw a Hail Mary with he got out of bounds with 1 second to go in the half, and then threw a Hail Mary into the end zone, and a Kulchin came down with it for a touchdown. We still got a minute 12 in this one. Good tackle by Abey on 3rd down.
Right into the waiting arms of Eli Abey, right in the gap right there.
So now, I think you're right, Bobby. You just let the clock run down, take the penalty. The difference between the play clock and the game clock.
Need a big play from Sullivan right here.
25 seconds, somewhere in there. Yep.
And just let Kautzman kick it as far as he can. It's not going to go real far with the temperature dipping into the teens. Wind chill, ask Chris.
1. Yep, exactly right. They let the play clock wind down, so 24 seconds to go in this one. We're going to huddle up. Connor Sullivan's going to get a chance to field it with under 20 seconds to go. So these are the kind of scenarios you practice, right, Bobby? And dog days of August when you want to be done with practice, but they say, hey, let's work on special teams. Let's work on the punting game. Let's work on
little things,
kick
right?
coverage. Yeah.
This one, just get a hold of it. Sullivan,
well,
got to have a chance, get out to this side. Just going to get out of bounds.
Yep. So he gets out with 16 seconds to go.
And the Tech faithful in the stands right now.
Yep.
Family, friends.
Now they're whooping it up back there in the tailgate section as well. And
yep, all the non-essential family members are back there finding heaters, going to welcome them on the long walk back up to the Hyper Complex here at Montana Tech. You'd think with all the tunnels under this place they could heat the field too.
A lot of credit to Stamps. They get it out to Ford, and Ford will get it down. Yeah.
Quinn Stamps came in the second half. At the end of the first half, he came in there. We watched Caden Hewitt. Don't have any updates on what his status is. Watched him walk off the field under his own power and back into the Hyper Complex. But young man did such a great job all season for the Saints. Didn't come out in the second half, and Quinn Stamps was up to the challenge. Brought this Saints team to within 3.
Well, he came in trailing 17-0 against the third-ranked team in the country. And not only did he stand up to the challenge, but he played extremely well and gave him a chance. And now Stamps just going to head for the sideline, chased out of bounds by Tel Arthur, and that will leave 1 play remaining with 3 ticks to go. And
put the exclamation point on a win for Montana Tech. As we mentioned, they've been to the national championship one time back in 1996 and
fell just short there that time. Coach Bob Green at the half here was leading the charge back then, but Kyle Sampson has them rolling right now here in Butte. And despite the frigid temperature, Tech stays hot, going to come out with their 12th win of the season.
Here's Stamps will step in and let this one go, and that is incomplete, and that's the ball game. So the Montana Tech Ore Diggers improved to 12-0 on the season. They move on to the quarterfinals of the NAIA National Playoffs, eliminating the Fighting Saints from Carroll College in a well-played game this afternoon at Bob Green Field here at Alumni Stadium in Butte. 31-21 the final score. And Bobby, final thoughts from you as we take a look at the final numbers in this game. Spirited comeback by Carroll College, just unfortunately not enough.
Carroll found a little juice coming out at halftime, ended up coming and outgaining the Ore Diggers there, largely behind the arm of Quinn Stamps, the backup quarterback who stepped in, the senior, able to lead them back and make this one very interesting for a little bit there. But Montana Tech too much today in Butte as winter comes finally to Montana, and Montana Tech continues to roll, winning their 12th game of the season. Kyle Sampson, Region 5 AFCA Coach of the Year, able to live to see another weekend. Probably going to host, I'm going to say it, College of Idaho here in Butte next weekend.
Yeah, I think so. And so Montana Tech looks like they will have another home game next week as they move on to the quarterfinals. And this magical season continues for Coach Sampson and Montana Tech. Big credit to Carroll College to make this a close game. A couple of second-half touchdowns by Carson Ochoa, but in the end, a little bit too much Diggers. Thanks so much to our hard-working crew. These guys do a great job each and every week, and we'll do it again soon. For Bobby Beers, I'm Chris Byers saying so long from Butte.